If there's one thing you need to know about me, it's that this tooth, this one right here, that little bastard, is about 1 centimeter taller than the other teeth on that bottom row. And now, anytime you see my mouth open, you won't be able to unsee it. You're welcome. And the other thing you really need to know about me is that I cannot stand when people cause problems for customer service workers, in particular, fast food employees. I've made countless videos shitting on narcissists that are fishing for clout by exploiting fast food employees for views on TikTok or YouTube through pranks or just being a general nuisance, just a hemorrhoid on society. They're just normal people and they're getting paid minimum wage to deal with the most insufferable people on the planet. Just truly degenerate assholes, and my heart breaks for them. Fast food workers get abused more than a fleshlight. It sucks. And over the last week or so, there's been a new trend that has really blown up that once again just treats these human beings as if they're just NPCs, props for their TikTok and YouTube Shorts videos. It's filming your Chipotle order being made by the Chipotle worker.
I'll get a bowl. Yeah, for to go. I'll get white rice with that.
The idea is they're going to give you more food because they're on camera. And it spawned because people were starting to talk about Chipotle portion sizes being smaller than they used to be, which for the record I do believe. That is a conspiracy theory I'll put on the full tinfoil condom for, because I do think that's accurate no matter how much the CEO likes to dance around in delusion and pretend that that's not the facts of it. I do think it is true. I used to get a Chipotle burrito after every lift in college, and I had innumerable Chipotle burritos, and over the last 3 or 4 years I've been very vocal about the quality of the food going down, in my opinion, and definitely, like when I get burritos now, it's significantly less than I remember it being back then. But I also think that's just kind of the industry norm, because I think the same thing about many other fast food places as well. But anyway, someone on TikTok came up with a cure to this small portion disease, and it was to just film these workers doing their job and kind of give them a bit of a hard time and nudge them on camera to give them more food. And this started to really pop off because a lot of people noticed that, oh, when they're being filmed, they give you more food. So that's the cheat code. That's the life hack.
Rice blanco pinto beans?
We'll do pinto beans with that.
Pinto beans, any protein for you?
We'll do chicken, please.
Chicken. Any queso for you?
We need some more chicken in that.
More chicken?
Finna fire on your ass. Put that chicken in there.
All right. Any queso for you?
This one is by far the worst I've seen from this trend here. This guy went in there looking to start shit. He's immediately aggressive and confrontational. The guy hadn't even put the fucking spoon fully into the chicken bowl there before he said, no, 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 need more chicken. He's there to stir a controversy for the sake of his video. And he is just shoving the camera down this guy's throat. If the worker had bent over, the camera guy here would have given him a full-blown fucking colonoscopy. He is right up in his business to just be this insufferable douchebag that's hassling him for the sake of this video that he's filming. Now, it's filmed from another angle, but I can't find that full video. I can only find this one through Twitter.
We need some veggies. Get some green veggies. Yep, little bit more, little bit more.
No problem.
Little bit more.
No problem.
Straight up. Oh, they gonna have to hold me accountable.
When he was asked pretty politely to just stop putting the camera in this guy's face, not even asked to stop filming, by the way, just asked to like, hey, maybe don't be up in this guy's nutsack with your camera, he immediately starts yelling about it. He's immediately throwing a fucking temper tantrum. Even though it was a super reasonable request, because look at how close he's getting to this guy. He is leaning over the counter to get as close as possible. It's like he's going in for a kiss, like he's trying to fucking make out with the guy here.
Nothing else?
That'll be all. And if you got problems, I'll fire your ass up. Hold me accountable.
It's fine. I just don't want to put in his face like that.
You're gonna have to hold me accountable.
Sir, this is Chipotle's. Why are you yelling and screaming? Why are you hooting and hollering here? Goodness gracious, it's like a hostage situation here. The worker did everything you ask. Leave them alone. All they requested is that you take the camera out of that guy's mouth. They didn't even ask that you stop filming, even though they should have. They should have walked over and slapped that fucking phone right out of your hands, douchebag. That's what should have happened. But it didn't. You still got to have your TikTok video, and you're still huffing and puffing about it. It's incomprehensible to me. Even when people who did this trend weren't harassing the worker making their food, I still don't like it. I think it is still dog shit. You're just being a nuisance to just average everyday people just going about their lives. They're getting paid minimum wage to make your food, and you're making it a huge headache for them by putting them on camera when I know for a fact they don't want to be. The reason you're getting more food shouldn't be some kind of mystery. The reason is because no one wants to deal with being shamed online. It's not like these people are just drones, AI that are cut off from the rest of the world. These people have access to the internet, same as you. They know what this trend is. And they know if they give you anything less than fucking colossal proportions that could feed a family of 8, then they're going to get insulted in your TikTok video. So obviously they play along with it. Like, it shouldn't be surprising that you do get more food when you film the workers here and put this big spotlight on them, because now you've turned it into a huge song and dance, and they want to do everything possible to avoid a negative situation with their life here that you have now thrust upon them for your own, you know, TikTok or YouTube short. I think it sucks. I think it is sucked from the very beginning. I don't like that the portion sizes at Chipotle have shrunk, obviously. But what I would never do is blame the workers for it. They're not making the corporate decisions for the portion sizing or anything like that. And if you do get less than you want, you can politely ask if you can have like another scoop or something. Like, that's just normal socialization 101. You don't have to resort to the nuclear option here.
And that ain't no issue. Anybody in here can get it. Straight up. You can call the police. I ain't break no law. Wait, what? Whoa, why you lying like police?
This guy's fuming so hard that he immediately gave himself amnesia and forgot that he just threatened the entire restaurant. She said, all right, I'm gonna call the police because you're threatening people. He's like, you're fucking lying! Who did that? Where? When did that happen? You're telling a fib. That's a tall tale. And I don't appreciate it, Buster. Even though literally 5 seconds ago, he just threatened the entire restaurant for some reason. He's just having a full-blown voice-cracking conniption here in front of the entire Chipotle for this trend. And I still don't even know what there is to be mad about. He got big portions on his bowl. Mission accomplished. And he successfully made everyone in that restaurant's day a little bit worse. Yippee. Wahoo! That's great. So yeah, overall, I think that this filming Chipotle workers trend is garbage. I think it is just trash. I could bring up countless other examples because it's become such a viral hit here, but they're all so annoying. They're not nearly as bad as this one. This one is by far the worst I have seen so far. The only ones that I somewhat appreciate are the ones where the Chipotle worker gives them significantly less food because they're filming. I fuck with that. I think that's great. That should be the gold standard going forward here. You come in and you start filming the workers, well, I hope you enjoy 5 tiddlywinks of rice and 1 little glob of chicken. And that's it. Put a smile on your face and get the fuck out. But anyway, yeah. Don't like the trend. Hopefully the trend is over soon. That's about it. So yeah. I don't know the cause for this epidemic, but it continues to get worse. Over the last few months, there has just been an unstoppable flood of videos showcasing insufferable douchebags going ballistic at customer service workers for no reason. I have made so much content insulting these people, I'm basically like the dare class for it now. But instead of warning you about drugs, I'm warning you about being an unlikable asshole. Today there's been a pretty goofy one involving a hotel guest getting upset at a hotel worker and making unreasonable requests because he's too fucking stupid to figure out how to book a room properly, or he's just a straight up scammer.
2 kids, 2 adults.
Yeah.
The reservation on our phone is clear, what we reserved.
Yeah.
What do you expect us to do?
Well, with that one, we could get you checked in. It came in as a king suite reservation, so it has a king bed and a sofa pull-out couch.
Now, the video starts in the middle of the boss battle here. We're coming in raw, right into the front lines off of a hot drop. So what's happening here is the hotel guest urinal cake is now starting to argue with the worker because he's unsatisfied with the room that he booked because he doesn't believe it's accommodating enough for the 4 people that's with him, 2 adults and 2 kids. Now, it is missing a little bit of context what led up to this, but luckily the hotel worker did make a TikTok to explain it, and it sounds like this guy was just trying to scam.
So what happened was he basically reserved a 2-queen bed suite that had the 2 queen beds and the sofa pull-out couch. But then he called and he canceled that reservation because it was too expensive. And then he made another reservation through a third party for the king suite that has obviously the king bed and the sofa pull-out couch. But he was fighting to get like the 2 queen bed suite, but we were sold out.
Yeah, this sounds really shady. This sounds like a really dog shit hustle that Ed and Eddie would have done to save a couple extra quarters to spend on jawbreakers. According to this story, he booked the larger suite with 2 queen beds and then canceled it, went to a third party to book the king suite, and then made this wonderful idea, this genius plan to throw a temper tantrum, kick his little feet, shake his fist, squeeze his nipples, and complain to the worker until they upgraded him to the queen suite, which he had just canceled. And it clearly didn't work because he must have forgot that hotels can sell rooms once they've been canceled. So the lady explained to him that every other room was booked, so he had no other alternatives, so he's just stuck there with his dick in his hand in that king suite that he purchased, or that he reserved. And he's not very happy about it.
We expect this to be that. We have 2 kids and us. We can't all sleep in a king bed. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I understand. It's the way that Booking.com sent us the reservation, so all that we have is that, and we're sold out for tonight.
Okay, I get that. So what do you expect us to do? That's my question.
What do you mean, what does she expect you to do? She expects you to go fuck yourself. Who cares? She's not your mom. It's not her responsibility to coddle you. She's given you the cold, hard truth, and you're refusing to accept it, and there's nothing she can do. There's no wiggle room to somehow just snap her fingers and all of a sudden all of the hotel rooms are available for you to take your pick of. It's you figure it out. You caused this problem. This is a problem you created. Now you find the solution. You're the one that blew this whole operation here, ruined the family vacation, bah humbugged Christmas away with your terrible booking. You know, that's on you, buddy. Like, I don't understand why he's trying to put the onus on her to solve the problem he created. And again, this is assuming this wasn't a scam from the get-go, which to me it does sound like it. Like he's going through this sob story of, we have 2 kids. It's 2 adults and 2 kids, and it's cold outside. It's 70 degrees outside. Like, what do you want us to do? Go out there and freeze to death? Oh my god, we're gonna fucking starve if we don't get this double queen bedroom. No. It seems like he's just trying to drum up a sob story and try and get upgraded and pay the price of the king suite, which was a smaller one. And if the goal was to scam, I think he should have done a better job of acting and come up with a more sympathetic story. Just go whole hog with this one. Double down. Get the family involved. So, you know, get some props. You have your wife wheel in one of the kids on a stretcher, right? With an oxygen tank set up to it, maybe even like a heartbeat monitor or something. And you just like gently pat their head like, it's okay, Cliff. We'll find somewhere else to go tonight. God damn it, Martha, I made him a promise. We'll get him to that doctor's appointment. We just need somewhere to stay first. We'll find it. You know, then maybe with the sympathy and the tears start flowing, then maybe the hotel worker somehow clears up a room. But you just didn't commit hard enough. I do think this is a scam, by the way. I really do get that feeling. He continues to ignore the most crucial part of this statement. It's not just a king bed in that suite. It's a king bed plus a full pull-out couch, or a full pull-out bed from the couch. So that's already 2 beds. You can absolutely, comfortably have 4 people in a 2-bed situation. Now, I do understand that it's possible he's in a loveless marriage and him and his wife haven't shared a bed in the last, like, 10 years, but I think just for one night, they could set that aside, sleep next to each other in order for him to have an extra night to solve this problem. But for some reason, he keeps ignoring that statement about the pull-out couch.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, so we could either check you into the room or we could cancel the reservation. That's the only 2 options.
Sleep in our car?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, where else are we going to go? Are there any other Holiday Inn Express hotels you can check us into?
I don't have the power to do that, but there are Holiday Inn Expresses in Bloomington.
So you're not even going to help us. You're going to say, take the room as it is, or you're on your own.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what she should do, and exactly all she can do in this situation. There is no further help she can offer because the whole place is fucking booked, and it's your fault that this has become a catastrophe.
What I can do to help you guys is get you guys checked into the room that has the king bed and the sofa pull-out couch. But apart from that, we don't have any other rooms to check you guys into. If it's regarding what you guys reserved, you would have to call Booking.com so that they could assist you with something that happened on their end. But this is just the information that we've received from Booking.com.
Who hasn't checked in? What else is available? Where more beds?
We don't have any other rooms available.
Who hasn't checked in yet?
Another brilliant plan from the chess master. So now he's wondering if he can just take a room from someone who hasn't currently checked in. I'm sure that's totally legal and won't lead to a huge problem for the hotel worker to do that. Man, this guy really does think he's the main character. I have no doubt he's gone through his entire life with people just absolutely giving him everything he's ever wanted on a silver platter. He just comes across as that kind of entitled douchebag. What an absolutely outrageous ask. Who hasn't checked in yet, and can I have their room? What do you mean no?
These rooms are reserved. I can't take them from somebody that's already reserved a room.
You gave somebody our room, right? The way it was supposed to be reserved?
No, because we held the room that we had the information for, which is the King Suite. That's what Booking.com sent over to us, so we kept that room for you guys.
You can hear this guy's brain start to melt down as it sloshes against his skull here and hurting itself as it's trying to process everything. So he believes that they've given away the room that he rightfully earned after canceling it. I believe he's referring to the room with 2 queen beds. And so he's, for some reason, upset about that and trying to guilt trip them like, oh, but this is what we really wanted, even though he had canceled it. So just a big blunder here.
How did you think 4 people would fit in that room? I mean, when you see it come in, don't you go, this doesn't make sense?
No, because Booking.com sends us the information, so that's the reservation, and we hold it as it is.
You didn't thoroughly investigate this man's family after he had reserved a room through Booking.com? You didn't go to his Facebook page and look at the height and weight of each member of his family in order to deduce whether or not they would comfortably fit into a king suite? Are you even doing your job? Unbelievable. I mean, now I see the guy has a point. Just what a fucking stupid asshole. Holy shit. And again, he keeps ignoring the most important part. It's not just 1 king bed in that room. There's also a full mattress on that sofa. It's a pull-out couch. So he can absolutely fit his whole family there. 4 people can stay in 2 beds. It's been done plenty of times before. I've also been in the situations like that where it's no problem at all. It's pretty easy.
So you think 4 of us can sleep in that room? That's your suggestion?
I'm not too sure how you guys were going to, do the setup in there. We just have the reservation as it was sent in to us.
And you have no other alternatives to solve it?
We're completely sold out for tonight.
Shockingly, no other room sprung up as available in the 30 seconds this guy spent pressing the issue, so unfortunately it's still in the exact same spot. Though if a room did become available, I would absolutely understand if she just didn't bother telling him, because fuck this guy.
I'm just stepping in, but you have a king bed and a pull-out bed, right?
Yeah.
You have 2 beds.
And 4 kids. 2 kids and us. And it's none of your business either. What are you doing jumping into this? It's not,
well, look, I mean, I don't think that
it's none of your business.
It's,
Yeah, shut it.
that's not really respectful. I think we can just go ahead and cancel your reservation.
Then what are we going to do?
I'm not too sure, but there are a lot of hotels in the area.
Why don't you just sit tight for a second?
I will. I'll be here till 11.
I believe this cliffhanger is him attempting to intimidate her with a call to the police department. At least that's what I'm led to believe here. But who really knows, since season 2 of this hasn't rolled around yet. But I'd love to know what he'd call 911 about. Like, what's your emergency? Well, you see, at the nearby Holiday Inn Express, they're not letting me steal someone else's room. No. I booked the King Suite and canceled the previous one, but I should still get the previous one, am I right? No? Well, what do you mean?
We'll cancel if there's no penalty.
Yeah, we can cancel.
If there's no penalty. Booking.com going to charge us?
No, but you just got to give a call to Booking.com and let them know that you want to cancel, and then there's no penalty. Okay, call Booking.com.
Do you know what the cancellation terms are? Is there a 24-hour notice?
They could tell you.
This is where the random NPC encounter finally concludes. For some reason, he keeps asking her Booking.com's policies as if she's somehow an employee of Booking.com now, as opposed to this hotel. What a real mess, This guy's bad news. I'll just say what everyone's thinking. I'll be brave. I don't like this guy, and I'll say it. I don't like him. I also don't know what the fuck he expected to happen with this whole thing. even if there were available rooms, I don't know exactly how this scam works. Why would they just upgrade you to that room for free when it's your fault, it's your mistake? I just don't see that ever really working, but I guess it must in some capacity if it's a well-known tactic. But anyway, just wanted to share this because people that insult and be rude and nasty to customer service workers for no reason always deserve to be made fun of themselves. And that's about it. So yeah. I'm not usually one who believes in the paranormal, unexplained hocus-pocus like ghouls, goblins, gnomes, ghosts, and birds. But with this situation, I am starting to believe there might be something that science can't explain. 3 days ago, I made that video on Kenneth Copeland, the man whom I believe to be a demon in human skin. He's an outrageously wealthy, corrupt preacher who uses faith to fuck the piggy banks of all of his followers to take as much money from them as possible and hoard it all for himself. And on the same day that I posted that video, this peculiar piece of information drops about an unhinged pastor going on a rant defending rapists who assault women for wearing shorts. It's just an interesting coincidence that that all broke on the same day that I was covering Kenneth Copeland. It's like that phenomenon, like in Grand Theft Auto, where you see a car you've never seen before, you steal that car, and then all of a sudden you see it everywhere. It's one of those things where I made that video, and it's not like I go out of my way looking for, like, corrupt preachers or anything like that, but then I saw this happening at the same time. And it's just one of those head-scratching moments like, is this a message from the universe letting me know that it can always be worse? You know, in the words of Qui-Gon Jinn, there's always a bigger fish.
This is the kind of preaching we need. I told my wife, I said, Mama, when we go to Pigeon Forge, to the outlet malls, when you go uptown here.
Goober's out here looking like Kingpin from Into the Spider-Verse. He's got that fucking wide bowling ball build here. His name is Bobby Leonard. And the way he delivers his sermons is a lot like a record constantly skipping a little bit, like he's glitching out constantly, and I have no doubt that's because he's this archaic fossil of a man. And I know that might sound a little harsh, and I'd almost feel bad for insulting this senile geriatric octogenarian, but he's also defending rape, so I really don't feel bad at all. He's a piece of shit.
We'll go sit at the parking lot at the outlet mall, I mean the mall here. I said, you watch it. I said, count them. You'll find more women going to have shorts on than you will with pants and dresses put together.
Oh, say it ain't so. Shorts on as a woman? Those whores. Those harlots. Charlatans. Oh my goodness, Bobby. You're right. What an astute observation. It's so despicable. Wearing shorts as a female? Have some decency, have some class, have some shame. Oh, goodness gracious. So Bobby's sitting in the parking lot just looking at women, I guess. Sounding like a real creepy weirdo here, just sitting in his car looking at all the girls that go into the mall. Probably got some fucking binoculars out spying on them with hand on his meat. And he's just pointing out to his wife, look at this, can you believe it? There's more girls going in there with shorts than there are girls going in there with dresses and pants. Who could have guessed, huh? Heavens to Betsy.
So I sat there, I just want to be sure, but I sat there some time ago for, I don't know who's out in the, I guess it must have been some of the family. My wife don't go shopping now. And I sat there in my car.
What the fuck did you just say there, Bobby? It sounded like he casted an ancient spell. If I popped that sentence into Google Translate, it would destroy the service globally. It'd shut that bitch down because this is incomprehensible. What in the world? He just hit a full-blown scat man in the middle of his sermon. Sounded like Porky Pig.
I thought, I'm going to see if that's right. And I counted. Try that. You'll find more women go in those places with shorts than you will women with pants and dresses put together. Try it.
Yeah, go ahead everyone, try it. Land yourself on the sex offenders registry for being some kind of alarming creep in your car just looking at women's bottom half to count if they're wearing shorts versus dresses or pants. Very normal thing to do for a sane individual, Bobby. Great advice. What a remarkable challenge to issue your followers. He is way too fucking old to be speaking in front of people, by the way. He actually talks as if there's just perpetually peanut butter in his mouth and he's struggling to get through the words so that way he could, like, enunciate them. It's brutal listening to him blabbermouth like this.
If you got time, try it. Have your boy go up there and try it. Just watch for it. Have your girl go up there and watch for it. And you know, I used to say this. I haven't said this in a long time. You ready? I said, if you dress like that and you get raped and I'm on the jury, he's going to go free. Now, you don't like, do you? I'm right, though. I can't help you don't like it. I'm right. Because, you know, a man's a man. A man's a man.
Jiminy Christmas. Bobby raping's his hobby, Leonard, just saying flat out with his whole chest, if a woman gets raped and he's on the jury and she was wearing shorts, he would let the rapist go free. What an outrageously evil individual you are, Bobby. What chapter of the Bible was this in? I don't remember this excerpt anywhere. When I first read these headlines, I thought it was potentially it being interpreted as a pastor defending rapists, but nope. He just outright says it. He's not beating around the bush. He's not trying to hide anything. He's going full mask off, just saying point blank that if he is on the jury and a woman gets raped and she's wearing shorts, Bobby would let the rapist go free. What a dangerous thought process that is. He just believes that men are going to rape a woman because she's in shorts and that they're justified in doing so. This leads me to so many questions I'd like to ask Bobby on a personal level. For instance, how many women have you sexually assaulted because of their clothing choice, Bobby? That was probably too many words. His brain can't process all that. Let me break it down in simpler terms. How many women have you raped, Bobby? I feel as though the only people that would ever defend a heinous action such as rape would be a rapist. Like, I don't think you have many rape allies. And meanwhile, Bobby Leonard here, in front of the entire church service, takes time to justify that. So that is really alarming shit. I don't know how this plays into Christianity at all. I don't know why he would say any of this during a sermon. I don't know what he expected to happen. Like, I was with my wife the other day looking at girls going in the mall. They're all wearing shorts and stuff. And you know what? I used to say this. I'm going to say it right now. If a woman's wearing shorts and she gets raped and I'm on the jury, that man's going free. Can I get an amen? Hey, what are all these boos for?
When I was a boy, 80 years ago, I was raised in Martinsville, Virginia, partly in Moxfield, North Carolina. I don't even remember women wearing anything but dresses.
So what, you senile worm? It doesn't matter what a woman is wearing, she shouldn't be raped. Rape is bad no matter what. There's no justifying it, you absolute fucking scumbag.
Back then, well, anyway, I don't want you to go home depressed tonight. I'd rather go home encouraged, but I want you to go home wanting to serve God. But it seems that it seems like we've paid no attention to God.
Oh yeah, this is all about God at the end of the day here. Yeah, I'm sure this whole little tangent you're going on is very biblical. You know, the Lord was famous for justifying rape. You know, in fact, it was the 11th commandment that unfortunately Moses just left at the top of the mountain. Thou shalt not rape unless it is a woman wearing shorts. Am I right, Bobby?
Isn't that right? And the Bible says sometime that people think God has delayed his coming. And so as a result of thinking God's delayed his coming, they begin to eat and drink and be drunken. And it seemed like right tonight, if all of our people, everybody comes to our church, thought that Jesus was coming Friday night, Saturday morning, you think they'll all be here?
What are you even saying? Are you drunk? Are you overdosing on Xanax? What is going on? There wasn't even a coherent thought in that entire, like, long fucking slurred speech there. That was actually nothing. It was a whole bunch of gobbledygook. There was nothing there. They're just letting anyone be a pastor these days, I guess. It's actually super interesting that the only time he's even lucid, like the only time when he's talking that makes any sense, is when he's saying that if he was on the jury and a woman got raped wearing shorts, the man would go free. That's the only thing he actually said that he didn't stumble his way through the statement of saying a man's a man, a man's a man, so he would let the rapist go free. Maybe it's because that's the only thing he truly believes out of everything he was spouting during the sermon, so that's the only thing he was able to deliver with conviction without just like falling and stumbling his way through his statements. It's horrifying. What a fucking sickening individual. Now, he did respond to the backlash, basically just apologizing. He said, "I am sorry for any hurt, I was wrong." So extremely concise, and I feel as though he's not sorry, he just doesn't like all of the negative attention it's brought to him in the church. Also, apparently the way he apologized was by putting it on their sign out front, so like the fucking billboard, "I am sorry for any hurt, I was wrong, Pastor Leonard." Literally has it like a new McDonald's item that they put on those boards out front of McDonald's. That's where he posted his apology for all of it. Again, I don't think he's remorseful even slightly. I think that's what he truly believes. He is a piece of shit. That's really about it. So yeah. Wow, what a crazy day, huh? No foreplay, we're just gonna get right into the actual meat here. So, there's been a big falling out between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I'm not sure all the particulars around it. I wasn't a little fly on the wall that observed everything that led to this crumbling relationship, but it is messy. Maybe Trump found out about Elon's stolen valor and Path of Exile. He said, "You're a fraudulent Path of Exile player, scram, get out of here." I don't know. It was pretty shocking to see, considering that only like a month or two ago, Elon made this post about loving Donald Trump as much as a straight man could. And it really seemed like they had a really, like, bubbly relationship. They were always giddy around each other, like fucking frolicking through flowers, it seemed. And then out of nowhere, it just blows up like a fucking septic tank here. Now there's shit spewing everywhere. So it was... a relationship ended on not good terms, and it culminated with Donald Trump threatening to cut Elon Musk's government contracts, and that is when the dam really broke. Elon got out his best ketamine cocktail and hit the Thunderdome, the only arena he's ever known, Twitter, saying things like, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election, Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude." I can already just picture Elon at his desk doing one of these. Such ingratitude. Like a 90s anime villain. And then he really rolled up his sleeves and said, "No more Mr. Nice Guy, bub." And he hit him with a big-time uh-oh spaghetti-o when he dropped this. Time to drop the really big bomb. At the real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. An absolute bomb. I haven't been this surprised since I was a freshman in high school playing in the Students vs. Parents Wiffle Ball tournament, and I was jogging to first base, and one of the dads hit me with like an E-Honda Level 3 Super. I mean, this guy clobbered my shit, and he sent me straight to the hospital with a broken wrist. This came out of nowhere. I don't think even Baba Vanga could have predicted this. It was stunning. It's a massive claim here, and it's one that also makes people raise an eyebrow at Elon Musk, because if it's true, then naturally people question, why would Elon Musk be all buddy-buddy, suckling the nipples of Trump's titties, knowing that he was on the Epstein flight list doing illegal, evil shit, if it's all true? Because he's now also retweeting things about Trump's link to Epstein, like this here with a party that Trump was at with Epstein in the 90s, or this about the times that he flew on Epstein's planes. And he puts his cringe fucking emojis every time. Half of his tweets are usually just like emoji reaction shits, but he's very clearly making the accusation directly, like in his own words, that Trump is on the Epstein flight logs, and that is the whole reason that he is prohibiting their release. And then he's retweeting these things with, like, raised eyebrow emojis, like, curious, interesting. He's retweeting this connection that he's showcasing here, and clearly making a statement about it. He's not just saying, like, Trump had a connection to Epstein, you know, he flew on these planes, but nothing happened, probably. He is clearly trying to say that something must have happened there, because he's using this as a way of attacking Trump. He even retweeted this from Ian Gobbles Dick for Miles Chong, saying that Trump should be impeached and J.D. Vance should replace him. He not only retweets it, but just agrees with it flat out, saying yes. This is crazy. And again, if this claim is true, and Elon Musk knew all about it, it's very odd that he would choose to work so closely with and be so friendly with somebody like that. Now, all of this led to today being a historic day for Cope. I swear to God, a century from now, the most grizzled, seasoned veteran copeologists will look back on June 5th, 2025 as the biggest day of cope in this nation's history. The amount of mental gymnastics and shit I've seen with people trying to explain what's actually happening here as like a 5D chess maneuver between Trump and Elon Musk is just pathetic. It would be comical if it wasn't so sad. I have seen so many posts speculating that all of this is a genius ploy, a ruse, in order to force the Epstein files to come out. Let that marinate for a moment. I really want you to stew with that thought process. Those are living, breathing people that actually think that. Why the fuck would that be their plan? Or anybody's plan for that matter? What a dog shit strategy. That is a worse idea than Concord. You're telling me that the President of the United States would willingly work with Elon Musk to have him be insinuated a pedophile in order to try and get the Epstein files to come out? Just stop for a minute. Just fucking put down the stupid pills. The President of the United States could 100% force these files to come out if he felt so inclined to. He wouldn't need to be used like a fleshlight by Elon Musk publicly in order to raise awareness on the Epstein files and try and put pressure on their release. And it's not like the Epstein files were ever lacking awareness. That's like the #1 thing every citizen in this country has wanted to be released since this happened. It has been a circus with this shit for years, even before Trump. Under Biden, too. These files will never see the light of day. They incriminate way too many powerful people on both sides of the political aisle. Like, 100%, I don't think they're ever coming out, and if they ever do, it's so hard to trust them now with how much they could have been tampered with over the years. Like, this is a stupid theory. The most plain and simple thing just unfolded in front of you. A relationship soured, and Elon felt Trump was attacking him, and he has proven that he is very much a strong proponent of revenge and trying to get even or fight back against someone he believes slighted him. He has done this many, many times in the past. For example, probably his most famous one was years ago with the cave situation where some people were trapped in a cave. Elon suggested using the submarine to help. A diver said that it wasn't going to be effective. They got into like an argument, and then Elon randomly called the diver a pedophile. Led to a lawsuit and everything, but the point is, he has proven that if he believes someone is like insulting him or belittling him, Elon will seek vengeance and like lash out against them. He has proven numerous times that he is going to retaliate if he feels that someone has insulted him, and now he's doing just that, something he's done millions of times in the past. I don't think there's any deeper layers to this onion. I don't think these are actually calculated galaxy brain maneuvers going on the back end with the two of them working together or anything like that. Now, I have read conflicting reports about like the Epstein files are actually coming out this time, which will be like the 300th song and dance we've had with this. So I guess we'll see if they actually do follow through this time, or if they're just going to drop the exact same files for the 30th remix. They have dropped the same Epstein shit, the same Epstein information, more times than Naughty Dog has dropped Last of Us remasters. Like, I'm expecting if they do actually do anything with the Epstein files, it'll be the same thing they've done multiple times before, but I guess we'll see. Either way, though, what a crazy day. This falling out between Elon Musk and Trump has been unbelievable. Like, actually unbelievable. And I wonder if Elon's going to continue just, like, tweeting out bombs like this. Like, he had so much access to, like, government information and shit. Like, is he just going to start leaking national secrets and all of that? Like, the amount that even just came out today was astonishing. Like, he was leaking more shit than my butt after eating anything with dairy in it. And I wondered, is he going to keep doing that? Or are tempers going to, like, I don't know, like, simmer down? Are they going to try and meet in the middle and, like, try and shake hands once again and not be on bad terms? Like, I do wonder, because he was deep in the government. He probably did have access to, like, very sensitive information. And he has just proven today, like, he is more than willing to just go on Twitter and just air some shit out. Again, they are just allegations right now. He hasn't proven anything about this, but still, crazy day for sure. That's really about it. See ya. I've recently been on a streak of sharing good news with all of you. Positive, silly, or wholesome things. But just like my wrist when I was 15 playing in a wiffle ball game, it's time to break it. I have to share this story here. The streak is coming to an end. How many of you know the name Christopher Schultz? I imagine not that many of you, unless maybe you see him in the comments section on Pornhub or something. He is a deplorable degenerate, worst dad of the year. Earlier this year, he killed his 2-year-old daughter by leaving her in a hot car. 109 degrees. She was left in the car for 3 hours so he could go inside and do some online shopping and watch porn. And also played some video games, no doubt bottom fragging in whatever game he was playing, and for 3 hours, he left his daughter in the car to die.
So I'm being treated like a murderer?
No.
I just lost my...
Not at all. I know that. And I know this isn't easy for you. That's why I'm trying to be straightforward and honest with you, okay?
Not the most convincing performance with these crocodile tears he tried to squeak out. His eyes couldn't really get moisturized at all there. So probably not the strongest performer in his high school thespian troupe, but he does look like the kind of guy who still talks about the high school glory days of being an offensive lineman in the state championship. This guy has a history of being a fucking mess and putting his kids in danger.
My whole family, my whole family's gonna be ruined.
Would it be alright? So we can't let you do that right now. We have to stand by with you. Okay? As soon as you can, we will let you know.
You can stay in the room if you want, but I'm gonna talk.
I know this isn't easy for you, but the quicker we get this done and finished up, the sooner you can be with your wife. Alright?
I'm trying to rinse off so I can go to the hospital and be with my wife.
We're not going to shower or anything right now. You need to stand by.
He got over the death of his daughter very fast. Now he's focused on practicing good hygiene, probably for the first time in his life, because this dude is a complete fucking rotten slob. He has a history of being a drunk and also driving while intoxicated, allegedly. It's unknown if he was intoxicated during this moment here. There's no conclusive evidence of it, but just giving it the old eyeball test here, it seems like he is. Like, I'm sniffing it, and it smells like this guy is fucking hammered. Like, the way he can barely keep his eyes open, the way that he's kind of, like, unsteady on his feet, he kind of wobbles a little bit like Oswald Cobblepot. He, to me, seems intoxicated, but of course, I'm not an expert. I didn't come over there and fucking breathalyze him or anything. I'm just telling you what my little peepers are looking at here with the evidence, and that's my impression. He actually looks like a caricature of an alcoholic you'd find in a cartoon. Like he'd be a regular at the Family Guy's Drunken Clam.
I don't understand why.
Okay, so we just need to stand by.
And I'm standing by. Why can't I take a shower while you stand by? What is...
It's not necessary right now. Okay. I'm not going to stand here and watch you shower. There'll be time for that, but it's not right now, okay?
Now, this happened earlier this year, and his charges have been upgraded to first-degree murder. And the reason for that is, he claimed that he left his daughter in the car because she was sleeping and he didn't want to wake her. But it turns out he has a history of irresponsible and dangerous behavior towards his children, including previously leaving them in cars. And in this case, he said he left the car running, but that he also knew that the car had a safety feature that would turn off the engine after 30 minutes. He said he knew from previous experience. He also tried to claim that he got home at 2 p.m. in order to make it seem like it wasn't that long with her trapped inside of the vehicle. But surveillance camera footage confirms he got home at 12:53 p.m., so the girl was in the car for 3 hours. It wasn't until his wife got home at 4 p.m. that her unconscious body was recovered. So his weaselly, slimy little story doesn't work, and he openly admits that he knew the car would turn off. Now, they're trying to claim that he forgot the child's in the car, saying, like, you know, this kind of thing happens, people just forget their kid in the car. And I guess that is true, because for as long as I can remember, probably for as long as cars have existed, there have been hundreds and thousands of reports of kids and pets dying in hot vehicles because the people were too stupid to recognize that you shouldn't do that, that that's a bad thing. So yeah, I know that is correct. People do forget their kid in the car sometimes, but that's not a good excuse. That's for the most dangerously moronic of society, and I don't think that that somehow should, you know, be okay. Like, oh, they made a boo-boo, what a mistake, a whoops-a-daisy moment. We can't throw them in jail for that. Yes, you should. That is too stupid to be allowed in society. You are a danger to the people around you for being such a fucking idiot. Like, I think that is not a good defense at all. Even if that is the case. I don't know if he planned to kill his daughter here. There's no way I'd be able to tell. But regardless, his irresponsible, dangerous actions led to her death. That is an irrefutable fact. And he needs to face the harshest possible consequences for that. And there's a lot of messages that confirm that this guy is just a complete fucking menace. You haven't shown me you can stop putting the girls in danger or not treat me badly. Even yesterday, you drove home drunk with 2 minors. I've been asking for 3 years to cut back and it's actually gotten worse. You replaced cocaine with alcohol. He repeatedly put their children in danger over and over again. Also, apparently shoplifted beer 2 or 3 cans at a time. So this guy was just fucking boofing beer cans on his way out, just putting them in his prison wallet and shuffling away, I suppose. And there was also numerous incidents where children were wandering around the neighborhood unsupervised without Schultz knowing they were out of the house. On the day of the child's death, the police gave a timeline. The 2-year-old had been in the car for more than an hour and 10 minutes when Schultz began browsing the internet. A computer search shows over half an hour. He visited a shopping site, then spent 5 minutes watching pornography videos. No one removed the child and tried to save her until her mother came home at around 4:15 p.m. About 3.5 hours after police say surveillance cameras saw Christopher Schultz park the car and walk away. Also, according to his other 2 children, he had got distracted putting food away and playing video games. So that's like the whole timeline here. This disgusting Cro-Magnon made the inexplicable decision to leave his daughter in the car because she was sleeping and didn't want to wake her for whatever reason. Claimed he left the car running, even while knowing that the car would shut off in 30 minutes. Goes inside to do a little shopping, probably picking up a few nipple clamps for himself off Amazon, and then watches 5 minutes of porn. So he must have seen one boobie and busted, and then spent the rest of the time putting food away and playing video games. All the while, his daughter was dying in that car. What a piece of shit. And again, this isn't like a freak accident from this guy. He has a history of this kind of dangerous behavior with his children. And here's another text message to confirm it. On the day the child died, the mother on the way to the hospital with daughter texts him and says, "I told you to stop leaving them in the car. How many times have I told you?" He replied, "Babe, I'm sorry." So he has done this a lot. It's been confirmed by many others that Christopher Schultz left his kids in the car pretty frequently. I'm also going to throw this in here because I found it kind of sad when reading about this. Schultz's wife spoke during his appearance in court where he's pleading not guilty to the charges, and she spoke saying that she wants him back home with their other children to begin the grieving process. She also said he is not a risk to the community. He's a risk to everyone. There is repeated behavior that endangered your children, and it led to the 2-year-old daughter dying. And it was pretty obvious from the body cam footage that there wouldn't be any grieving on the behalf of Christopher Schultz. It doesn't really seem like he cared all that much. How could someone who actually cared about his children constantly drunk drive with them or leave them in hot cars so much that you have told him tons of times to stop doing that? That is not the actions of someone who cares. That is the actions of an evil piece of shit. And it seems like she's going to be sticking by his side, which I just do find sad. I'm not like blaming her or anything, because I understand when you've been with someone for so long, it's very hard to come to terms with something like this happening. But she mentioned how he treats her badly and constantly goes against her advice of keeping the children safe. He did the most irresponsible and dangerous shit with his kids frequently. This is not someone that should ever see the light of day again. Schultz also has a 16-year-old from a previous relationship who spoke out about this, saying that Schultz would leave her alone inside of the car sometimes for hours since she was as young as 7. It makes plenty of sense. Actually, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Once I had to go sit out in the car for 4 to 5 hours and continuously had to restart the car and had only eaten once that day. Like, this is someone who has no regard for human life outside of his own. He, from what I can tell, and this is me just on the outside looking in, it seems like this guy really viewed children as a burden or a nuisance, so any opportunity he had to, like, distance himself from them, he would take. And that would be leaving them in the car so he could go inside and watch porn and play games. without having children around to bother him or something. That's the impression I get from this. There is no other explanation for this reckless behavior and this endangering of his children. She described that period as a nightmare, saying that it changed her as a person and she'll never be the same as she was before she moved into that house, and that it got so bad in 2021 she tried to take her own life because she didn't want to live with her father. Child Protective Services got involved and Schultz lost custody of her. This man has a complete disregard for the well-being of his children. This is not the case of a good man making one mistake. This is the case of a bad man making tons and tons of mistakes until it costs someone their life. I truly don't believe that this is some kind of forgivable accident, that it just slipped his mind his daughter was still in the car after it had turned off. This is someone that should face the maximum possible sentence here. I don't know if they'll actually get first-degree murder charges to stick on him here. I'm not a fucking lawyer, but I'm sure there will be some charges that will stick in this case, and I hope that it carries a huge, huge prison sentence. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So yeah. There's a few things that everyone knows human beings can't live without. Water, air, a nice smile. But there's actually something that's often overlooked that's a necessity for life on this planet. And it's an ad blocker when using the World Wide Web. I am constantly reminded of this cold hard truth anytime on stream that I try and read about an event or something and I go to a godforsaken news publication that won't allow you to read the article without turning your ad block off. And eventually, after putting up a big stink, I just give in to the dark side, turn off the ad blocks, that way I can get the information about whatever I was trying to research and learn about. And 100% of the time, without fail, it's just a massive headache, just this visual nuisance, all this clutter with an inundation of ads that seems like it's some kind of scene from a 90s movie where you get hacked, where it just has like, virus detected, go here for good porn, your doctor doesn't want you to see this, that kind of shit, just popping up all over the place. That is the modern landscape of the cyberspace without an ad block, unironically. There's banner ads, auto-playing ads in the bottom right of every news journalist site, ads on the side, ads in the middle of articles, ads everywhere. But what I didn't know until today is that if you try and watch a video on some of these mainstream media sites, you get an ad every 2 or 3 seconds. And I'm not exaggerating. And when I say you get an ad every 2 to 3 seconds, I don't mean you get like a banner ad. I mean you get like a full 20 to 30 second video ad that pauses your video to play that ad. So a 2-minute video that I was trying to watch about a bobblehead heist ended up taking over 10 minutes, and I still didn't even finish the video because there were that many ads. I was still only a little over halfway through it. It is absurd. It's unusable trying to navigate through the internet without an ad block. It is crucial. I would argue it's like a basic human right at this point to have an ad blocker when using the internet. It is that fucking atrocious. Just check this out. Did you hear about the Pittsburgh Penguins bobblehead heist that just happened? Someone earlier came in here like there was some on-the-ground, boots-on-the-ground reporter going over that saying, Charles, something huge just happened in Pittsburgh. Is that what it is? There was a bobblehead heist? I thought they had, like, burned down, like, the entire, like, Pittsburgh facility for the Steelers or something. So they stole bobbleheads? Are bobbleheads, like, easily resellable? Do you make a lot from stealing bobbleheads?
Because said bobbleheads have been stolen in a...
Oh! Not the ad. Good heavens, why?
And it got me thinking, you know, who's having the worst seat?
Like the membership Tamago.
Ready?
Oh my, you can't be serious. The back-to-back? Heavens to Betsy. The memorabilia were meant to be handed out to fans in celebration of 52-year-old who played with the Penguins from 1990 to 2001.
This year. And you could certainly nominate the Pittsburgh Penguins for that. Kyle Dubas, their general manager, and some people around that team for some reason thought...
Oh my good, what is... Who? Oh, is this what Purgatory's like? Is it... What is this? You get 3 seconds of a video and then 25, 30 seconds of an ad? Is this the future? Holy shit.
That this team
That's got to be it, right?
Close to contending for a Stanley Cup, or could contend for a Stanley Cup. They went out, they got Eric Carlson, they got Riley Smith, they got a bunch of veteran guys. Things have gone sideways.
Oh my god! What is... No way! This website needs to be banned. ASAP. Whoever owns this site needs to be thrown in jail. What?
Things have gone south. And you could certainly argue right now that there's not...
His membership, one guy. Oh! I have to watch the whole video like this. I have to know. How deep does this go? This can't be legal, right? This can't be. There's no fucking way. How do you even use the internet without an ad block? You can't even watch this.
Ahora obtén 2,500 de descuento de bono total en la Chrysler Pacifica 2020.
Have you ever watched cable TV? There's no way it's this bad.
Team in the NHL that is further away from winning a Stanley Cup, or at least contending for a Stanley Cup, than the Pittsburgh Penguins are right now. That's a
okay. That might be the end of it. He's got 2 sentences out this time.
You know, you get to thinking, and I think there's some teams in the NHL that are saying, hey,
I think it's smooth sailing. No way! How? Wait, how do you get it? Isn't there like laws in place to prevent this? I'm pretty sure there's laws in place for this, right? How about to fucking report them to the Better Business Bureau, even though they don't do anything?
Hold my beer. How about the San Jose Sharks? On pace for a goals differential of -148. That would be the worst since the glory days of the Ottawa Senators in 93-94.
Oh, that was a jump scare. They fooled me with that one. Thought it was coming. Oh, there it is. Nope.
Really well and looked like they had something really special going, and then became...
I think we made it through the storm.
Fell off the map, and they're playing in a college arena.
Okay, there it is. That's the one. They teased us with a little foreplay there. This is what I come for, the ads. And then the guy in between who's just talking about some hockey stats, I guess. Man's able to get 3 words out. Hold my beer. Bang. Sisyphus-type video. Pretty much, actually. Yeah. What an absolutely unusable site. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. So who stole these bobbleheads? Oh, here we go. Immediately, amused hockey fans pointed a collective finger at one suspected culprit, zeroing in on the Philadelphia Flyers' 7-foot-tall, irreverent, and slightly unsettling mascot, Gritty. Jesus Christ, wait, their mascot is Gritty? That's fire. I don't think I've ever seen their mascot, nor did I know his name was Gritty. How much money do you think they make every time someone watches the entire video? I don't think anyone can watch the entire video. This video is only 2 minutes long, and there's still 53 seconds left, and it's been like 10 minutes because there's so many ads. I think most people will have probably already clicked off or have died of old age. But with the amount of ads so far, I think that's like ad number 13 or 14, they probably make like $2. Like, it's just not worth it. That's nuts. I've never seen one this bad, ever. This video just started playing and immediately went to an ad. There's no way this is commonplace. Using the internet without an ad block is absolutely awful.
Of starting a fatal house fire in Green Valley Ranch.
Oh, that is not the ejaculation story. That's far different. Fort Collins police services said the investigation began in July. Immediately to an ad. Maybe this is the norm. Is this the norm? I put in that second clip there just so you can see that I was experiencing the same thing on a different website. You only get like this short burst of what you're there for, like the video component that is, before it's interrupted by ads, it seems. I thought it might have been just exclusive to that first site I was on, but then it happened on this website too. So I'm guessing it's more common than I think. And there's not many people out there in the modern day and age that use the internet without an ad block, luckily. But now there's like this war on ad block that YouTube's kind of spearheading, and this is what it looks like without it. So you should be able to recognize why it's such a big deal that ad blocks are here and why they need to stay. So any kind of attempts to get rid of them, I think, is just a detriment to the overall landscape of the internet, honestly. After seeing this today, it is in a state that's unforgivable. You can't even watch a video from these publications without an ad popping up every couple of seconds. So you don't even get... The content is the ad at that point, and the break is the news story. Like, it's so fucking flipped and weird. And I just had to talk about this because I was baffled at the frequency of ads on journalist sites like this. That's crazy. That's about it. See ya. Hi there. I'm about to go on a passionate, joyful rant, so please ensure that your seatbelt is buckled, because I'm about to torpedo my opinions at you like the logs out of Final Destination 1. I am so beyond disgusted and tired of modern greedy video game pricing, and the biggest proponent behind this criminal level of greed is Ubisoft. I've said for the last 3 or so years that nothing makes me lose faith in an upcoming game quicker than seeing a Ubisoft original appear in the trailer. If I was a member of their evil syndicate think tank, my #1 suggestion to the board of directors would be hide Ubisoft as much as possible from the credits of these games so people don't know that they're behind these productions. Bury it somewhere so that way people have to go looking to unearth the truth, because no one likes Ubisoft. I'd have more optimism about an upcoming game if it said it was a Bernie Madoff masterpiece. Like, I'd trust anyone more than Ubisoft. I think they have produced almost exclusively stinkers over the last like 5, 6, maybe even 7 years. Aside from, of course, Rainbow Six Siege, which I think is just an accidental hit for them. And it's an older game, it's a 9-year-old game, and I think the reason that it continues to do well is because Ubisoft forgets that they're involved with it, so they let it do its own thing. But anything Ubisoft gets its grubby little mitts in just is a disaster. Anyone remember the Avatar Legends of Pandora that came out less than a year ago? Didn't think so. And in fact, I bet you didn't even register that I got the name wrong. I double checked. It came out 6 months ago and it's actually called Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. But I imagine some of you watching this did play it and totally forgot about its existence, just like Men in Black Neuralizered out of your mind, but because it was so boring that your brain did its best to defend you from the tedium. It is just a fucking snooze fest that I guarantee you sleptwalk through. Just like mindlessly wandering around in this fugue state of this Ubisoft open world formula that they run into the ground. It's just fucking pitiful productions that they've been behind for the last 5 or 7 years. But before I get too deep into this Ubisoft hate wagon that I'm just vomiting out here, I do want to passionately be excited about something. The GamerSupps waifu cup with me on it, baby. The most beautiful cup you've ever seen in your life. Look at this goblet. That's me. But yeah, it's available right now at gamersupps.gg. I'll put a link to it in the description. Go ahead and pick that up right now. But the point is, Ubisoft, I don't think has made good games in a while, and I include Assassin's Creed in this. I haven't enjoyed Assassin's Creed in so long. The last good one, and this isn't a controversial opinion, was Black Flag. And I didn't enjoy Black Flag as much as everyone else, but I can recognize that it was probably the last good Assassin's Creed game. And I play all of them. I try them all. Except I only lasted like 4 hours in Mirage because it was such a fucking snooze fest. And Valhalla, I think, is the only time I've ever fallen asleep on stream. Like, they're just boring games. And this is all a long-winded precursor to what I want to talk about today, which is the newest Assassin's Creed game, Shadows, which of course Ubisoft is behind. Now there's a lot of controversy around this, a ton of drama because of the main character here, or one of the main characters. I don't give a fuck about it. I'm just going to tell you right now up top, I'm going to rip the band-aid off. I don't care. I legitimately could not care less about the historical accuracy of the Assassin's Creed franchise. That means about as much to me as the tiny hairs around my asshole. It is truly worthless to me. I wouldn't care if you played as Dobby the House Elf in the new Feudal Japan Assassin's Creed game. Doesn't matter as long as it's a good game, which I don't think that will be because I have no faith in Ubisoft and even less faith in Assassin's Creed. But what I do care about greatly is the pricing that Ubisoft is spearheading here. They just did this for Star Wars Outlaws with like the $100 plus versions, and now they're doing it again for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I am so fucking tired of it. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. These are your pricing options for the different editions of Assassin's Creed Shadows. So, for the standard edition, it's $70, but you have to pre-order it if you want access to a pre-order exclusive mission. The mission's called Thrown to the Dogs, and the only way you get access to this, it seems, is if you've pre-ordered the game, which they haven't even shown any motherfucking gameplay for yet. I think that is the biggest load of barnacles ever. You're just pre-ordering based off of a cinematic trailer alone. It's a terrible, shameful thing to ask of the consumer, but that's Ubisoft in a nutshell. They're completely shameless. Moving on to the Gold Edition, you get the pre-order bonus plus a season pass and 3-day early access. Season pass in a single-player game is probably one of the most embarrassing things ever that's become commonplace. If I was the goober at Ubisoft that came up with the idea of single-player season passes, I would never share that information with anybody ever. You wouldn't be able to torture that out of me at Guantanamo Bay. Batman couldn't beat that shit out of me. That is so fucking embarrassing. And in this case, it's especially egregious because the season pass for the Gold Edition includes a mission, so it's just paywalling even more content of the game behind the season pass and the higher price tag. And let's talk about that 3-day early access real quick, because I've seen a lot of discussion around it, and they're making great points about it. For 110 clams, you're not paying to play the game 3 days early, you're paying to play it on time. If you pay $70, you're playing the game 3 days late. So it's not early access. For 110 bones, you play the game when it comes out, and unless you fork over the additional 40, you play the game 3 days late. That's how it works. That is extraordinarily anti-consumer. Like, increasing the amount of money just to play the game when it fucking releases is absurd. And then we move on to the Ultimate Edition. For $130, you get pay-to-win elements in a single-player game. 5 skill points and then like a bunch of cosmetics. I'm gonna get a little mean here with some tough love. If you have to pay an additional $60 just for a little bonus pay-to-win in your single-player game, I think you need to take a hard look in the mirror and just recognize that maybe gaming's just not for you. Like, if that's the only way you'll enjoy the game is being able to, like, pay to win through a single-player game, I think maybe, you know, take up a different kind of hobby. I feel like such a fucking Redditor gatekeeping gaming, but that is so unbelievably silly to pay an additional $60 for 5 skill points and then a couple of cosmetics. Like, I'm sure the cosmetics will look cool, but they're not worth almost paying the exact same price as the game itself just to get some cosmetics for it. That is a crazy thing to ask of people. Then, of course, there's the final option here, which is getting the Ultimate Edition through Ubisoft Plus, which is their own cringe subscription service for $18 a month, because every single fucking thing on the planet has a subscription service now behind it. I bet there's going to be a subscription service for Mr. Bean, like Mr. Bean Extra On Demand Turbo Arcade, even though there's only 15 episodes of Mr. Bean that have ever aired and they're all freely accessible on YouTube right now. But I bet they'll probably come out with some kind of Mr. Bean subscription in the next few years. That's just the #1 trend that every tech company follows now, and Ubisoft is of course no stranger to that. So they have Ubisoft Plus, which hopefully they have less than double digits of users signed up to that, because I don't know who in their right mind would sign up for Ubisoft Plus. But anyway, that's the other option of getting the Ultimate Edition. I hate the direction Ubisoft is trying to push AAA gaming. I hate this pricing scheme. I think it's terrible. It was bad when they did it with Star Wars Outlaws. It's bad that they're doing it with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I'm really hoping that it flops extraordinarily hard so that way more AAA companies don't try and emulate it. Because I have no doubt there's a lot of companies paying close attention to what Ubisoft's doing here. And if it's successful, they'll probably employ similar tactics. And that would just be bad for everybody. So I wanted to vent about this a little bit. I think it super sucks. I hate where Ubisoft is trying to take the industry. So yeah, I kind of wanted to just rant about this a little bit and get it all out of my system. I'm still going to try Assassin's Creed Shadows because I still give every single game that comes out a try for the most part to see if maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and proven wrong. So far, the safest bet I'll ever be able to make is that the newest Assassin's Creed game is going to be boring. That's been proven true time and time and time and time and time again for me personally, but maybe Shadows is the one to break that streak. And if it does, great, but it's still not going to change the way I feel about how Ubisoft is monetizing it. I think it is horrible for the industry overall. Even if the game comes out and it's great, I still can't stand what Ubisoft has done with their monetization of these games. I think it is fucking atrocious. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I saw a pretty remarkable meltdown today. A gentle sir was let go from his job at the UPS store, and he didn't take it on the chin like a champ. He self-destructed like a Voltorb here. Now, I understand getting fired is brutal, emotions are high, but for the life of me, I can't understand why they would let someone like this go in the first place.
Getting fired from the UPS store by this cuck loser, fucking coward, cuck loser, won't even fire me at the beginning of my shift, waits till the end of my shift. Here he is!
He literally just hit a textbook soy jack. This guy is the epitome of soy jacking. He goes through every single possible soy jack, in the span of 51 seconds. It's unbelievable. It's beyond impressive, actually. And the way that he brings, like, the camera close to his face reminds me of The Dark Knight with the Joker. And the way he keeps calling this guy a cuck, coward, loser is a beautiful piece of pathetic artistry. He's speaking like it's League of Legends and he's whining about his top lane feeding. Now, I have no doubt that in the moment this probably felt very cathartic for him, just having this full-blown, you know, expulsion of the demons inside. You know, he's really upset and he's just letting it all hang loose. He's going hog wild with everything, and I bet it felt like a great relief. But man, you shouldn't have filmed this. You absolutely should not have been the one behind the camera publishing this, because it gets really bad.
Darren, the cuck fucking loser from 1892, who's a fucking loser, who doesn't know shit about running a business.
The way he introduces Darren here is some Full House shit. Darren comes in, I was half expecting like a clap track to come in there, because he takes off his glasses like he's posing for the camera. He's smoldering right now. Darren, I don't know how he was able to keep a straight face without just laughing, because this shit is unbelievable. So he calls him, you know, the cuck coward loser from 1892. I guess he's insulting him because he's old, which is interesting because I feel like the guy filming is actually older than Darren. The guy filming looks like an anorexic Karl Marx. I just can't imagine he's much younger than Darren here, and yet he's really going in on the, you know, him being ancient thing. I feel like he was just really upset, fuming, you know, the steam out of the ears. He's actually foaming at the mouth. He is rabid. It just seems as though his brain was scrambling in this frenzy to try and cobble together any insult it could muster, even if it didn't make sense. Here's Darren, Dickie Darren, aka Cuck McShartpants from 1892, back before aviation, the Wright brothers, more like the wrong brothers, because, brother, you're wrong for firing me, Darren, cuck loser.
And he's gonna let an alcoholic fat fuck named Joe fire somebody with 10 years of experience because he complained that Joe won't train my fucking coworkers, and Joe puts nigger on the fucking radio, and Joe drinks next door and won't tell shit to my coworkers.
That was the most unexpected hard R I'd seen in quite some time. The Game of Thrones Season 8 writers couldn't have subverted expectations that effectively. Obviously, I had to censor it to the best of my ability, but wow. So we've gone from Darren now he's brought up this new character in the lore named Joe, who he is clearly not the biggest fan of, saying that he's fat and didn't train his coworkers, so he complained about that, which has led to him getting fired. That's his game theory on all of it. That's his hypothesis. I don't understand at all where the hard R even comes from or what he's referring to here. He's saying Joe puts hard R on the radio? Like, what the fuck does that even mean? It's fucking craziness here. He is so angry. Like, he is angrier than Broly at Kakarot, like, before he becomes the legendary Super Saiyan.
Because he's a cuck fucking loser coward, just like Darren, the cuck fucking loser coward. Coward loser fucking cunt.
That ending is absolute cinema. The way he goes from like this heightened emotional state to he's, you know, the point he's about to pass out. He actually, I'm not kidding, has foam around his mouth. He is spitting so much. And then he goes from that to like this like almost post-nut clarity moment. Like he starts to simmer down. He takes a deep breath. And then he walks away calmly. And he just leaves and then turns the camera off. And then he posted it online. I can't believe he posted this shit online. If any future employers see this, it's going to be pretty rough for him, I would imagine. Because you just had a very public freak out, as well as just dropping the hard R in the middle of it. And the thing is, like, these videos pop up occasionally where someone gets fired and they, you know, have this very cathartic blow up about it and, like, you know, confronting their boss about it before they leave. And in a lot of cases, you're on that person's side because getting fired sucks, and a lot of times it is unjust. And maybe in this case, maybe there wasn't a good reason for him to be fired, I don't really know. And he starts by saying that he waited till the end of the day to fire him, which I'm a little split on because On one hand, you at least get another full day's pay, but on the other hand, you just wasted a fucking full day. But regardless, it was very easy to get people on his side here for this, you know, yelling at the boss about this. And again, maybe there wasn't a good reason for him to be fired, but this confirmed that they made the right call firing him if he is just like this ball of rage ready to bust. I had to talk about this. It was quite the meltdown. And the soy jacking, wow, beautiful. That's about it. So yeah. The best stories ever told are the ones that have the satisfying conclusion of the good guys winning in the end against evil, overcoming insurmountable odds to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat in a miraculous triumph. But we don't live in those stories, we live in cringe, so that's not always the case here in reality. And a haunting reminder of that fact is what just happened with Friendly Jordies. Friendly Jordies is an Australian YouTuber whom I've covered on the channel multiple times. I truly believe he is one of the best investigative journalists in the world, period. With no exaggeration, he risks his life to serve the community and inform them of corruption that it's gone unchecked, and his reward for this is his house being firebombed and his life being threatened multiple times. And these aren't the kind of death threats that you see all the time on Twitter where a 13-year-old anime fan gets upset if you say you don't like something about their favorite show. These are death threats from an organized group of criminals, with a very scary history and a track record of already trying to murder Jordan Shanks, Friendly Jordies. They fucking firebombed his house. Well, actually, they firebombed his neighbor's house because the absolute goobers got it wrong the first time, and then came back to try and finish the job by firebombing his actual residence. So they have already tried to take his life before. That's some shit that you only see in, like, espionage, blockbuster Hollywood films, and yet Friendly Jordies is living through it right now because New South Wales is so unbelievably corrupt that it's just, it's festering in the public eye. And yet the authorities that are supposed to protect and look out for the public safety are just closing their eyes and plugging their ears to all of this unfolding in front of them. It's despicable. It seems New South Wales is more corrupt than Gotham at this point. Friendly Jordies yesterday posted a video where he had to publicly admit defeat at the hands of this corruption, unfortunately.
You might have noticed that we haven't been releasing videos after the police arrested a suspect for the firebombing of my house. While we're very grateful for their persistence throughout this ordeal, we felt it would be prudent to see what the response would be from certain individuals.
If you haven't kept up with the lore here, I'll give you the previously on Dragon Ball Z recap. They did finally make an arrest on one of the suspects responsible for the firebombing of his house. It took about a year, but better late than never. Rather be tardy to the party than not show up at all. At least it's seeming like crime won't pay. They won't get away with this, right? Wrong! Idiot! Stupid! Can you stop sipping on your moron potion for a second? Put the stupid juice down? Of course the criminals are gonna get away with it, because I guess that's just the way things go in New South Wales. At least when it comes to criminals of this caliber. The very powerful ones, who are just seemingly above the law.
Their response has been one of rather perplexing confidence. Buoyed by the lack of further arrests, they have decided to be much more blunt with their requests, threatening anyone they believe had handed over information to assist with the creation of the video Coronation. This video detailed links former Deputy Premier John Barilaro had with development company Coronation Property. The video encompassed more than Coronation Property Associates. It included an array of spirited characters, many of whom were enraged with its release. Police have made it very clear that many of the prime suspects in the firebombing are in that video.
The video he's talking about here is a video Friendly Jordies and his team released called Coronation, and this shit was so hot it'd leave the toilet bowl steaming. It was massive. Friendly Jordies and his team released a firebomb of their own with this one here. Coronation highlights a lot of horrible things going on with a lot of very scary and powerful people doing bad shit. And they were not happy that this video got posted, and it put a target on Friendly Jordies' back. Really, it put the target right on his fucking forehead, right on his noggin, because this was a big deal. It caused a lot of ripples, and it made him public enemy #1 of this group of people.
Now, over a year later, these figures are once again venting, threatening dire consequences if the video isn't taken down. Given these people's colourful history, we don't consider these to be idle threats. Naturally, we contacted the appropriate authorities, but it appears these men have engulfed the state in a state of fear. It appears these men are indeed above the law. It appears these men are free to point the scythe at anyone they wish, blackmail them with the most heinous, violent acts imaginable, and there is not an authority in the land powerful enough, or perhaps foolhardy enough, to check them.
Just tragic. Where do you go when the authorities abandon you? What are you supposed to do when the people that are supposed to protect you refuse to, because the people that are coming after you are stronger than them and out of their reach, just untouchable? What can you possibly do besides just comply?
But if the content of coronation is to fall on willfully deaf ears, if its only tangible result is the death of innocent people, we will not have their lives hang on our conscience. In other words, you win. We're taking down the video. Congratulations, you run this city.
It's sad because it's such an important piece of investigative journalism, but it's also the only choice they could make in this situation. This isn't a group that's making idle threats. They have already firebombed twice, and they have a history of doing a lot more, as was highlighted by Jordy's and his team. So they did the only thing they could when faced against this enemy. They just complied. They took down that video. Now, of course, since it's the internet, nothing's ever really gone forever in this cyberspace, except, of course, for all my old YouTube videos I deleted when I was a teenager because I was embarrassed of them and worried that the copyrighted music would cause a problem, so I deleted them in like 2012. And I desperately want those videos back, but they can't be reclaimed. Those are the only things in the entire documented history of the World Wide Web that are apparently just fucking poofed out of existence forever and can't be brought back. But aside from that, nothing else has ever really gone forever. There's always re-upload, there's always archives of it. So in this case, Coronation, the video that he had to take down, is re-uploaded 1,000 times already. So it's not like completely dead and buried or anything like that, and I saw a lot of people saying this could actually, you know, start the Streisand effect here on this and have even more eyes on this group, which I guess is possible, but I think the big victory for them is that they've shown that they can kind of bully and strong-arm anyone with impunity. They can't be touched by authorities. They just have this green light to do whatever they want with no repercussions, so they're able to force Geordies to take down a video they didn't like. And they're just demonstrating that power here, and I think that's kind of what they were aiming to do. Not so much shut down the information, because I'm sure they knew that this was just going to be re-uploaded, but it's just kind of letting Geordies and pretty much everyone else know that they can do what they want. And it's very fucking scary, just how powerful they are. Being a real investigative journalist has to be one of the most dangerous things you can do. I've mentioned this a few times before, but this isn't like the only example of this happening to an investigative journalist. It just happens to be one of the few times that happens to be a YouTuber as well, so more people are made aware of what's going on. One of the biggest ones that I always go to is the Panama Papers, if any of you remember that. The Panama Papers were a massive deal for about a day, and then collectively the whole world stopped talking about it mysteriously, even though the Panama Papers were quite alarming. And one of the lead investigative journalists behind the Panama Papers released was actually killed in a car bomb, and nobody ever talked about it. I bet most of you didn't even know that. Anytime I bring that up, I'm met with question marks in my stream chat. Investigative journalism is a dangerous thing to get into. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for the ones that do take this on to try and help their community and keep everyone informed and safe and let everyone know what's going on, so that way people can be more aware. So what Geordies and his team do, I think, is extremely important work, and they are very, very good at it. So it's just really upsetting to see them have to admit defeat at the hands of this corruption they've been fighting against. And it's downright shameful from the authorities in New South Wales for their refusal to do anything about this. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya. It's not your birthday, or if it is, I wasn't invited to your party, but I brought you a surprise anyway. A trashy streamer who hit a pedestrian whilst driving distracted and most likely high out of her mind. And she's not a Kick streamer. I know, right? Kick right now is probably just wiping sweat from their brow like, whew, finally. A crime that was streamed that wasn't on our platform, pumping their fist in the office, shaking each other's hands like they won the Super Bowl. She is a YouTube streamer, so let the celebrations commence at Kick. The Gatorade showers are probably in full effect over there. She streams on YouTube, and from what I can tell, and I've only gone through like 3 of her streams, her entire streams revolve around how degenerate she is. She's usually very fucking high. According to the community that watches her, she does meth pretty often before driving. She's always on her phone while driving. It's where all of her content takes place, so she's always looking at chat, getting donations, very distracted driving. And she also had an incident where she was doing Spark deliveries and giving groceries to a customer, and her dog is in the back seat with all of these groceries and ends up peeing on the chips and taking a shit on the other groceries with an entire worm that pops out of its ass like it's a scene out of Ozzy and Drix. And how does she respond to that? She wipes the worm off of the groceries and then still delivers them to the customer who had no idea. I'm going to show you both of these clips here. I'm going to start with where she hit a pedestrian yesterday.
Well, he does hear those voices. They're not fake, but I wonder sometimes. Oh my god, are you okay? No. What the fuck did you do? I didn't see her. Why are you not looking? I was looking. I didn't see you. What the fuck? I'm telling you, I did not see you. Okay, Ann. What the fuck? Just tell me how I can help. Well, I don't know. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, you guys. I don't know what just happened, but it wasn't good.
What do you mean you don't know what just happened? Are your eyes lagging? Is this a latency problem, like the ping's too bad so your eyes haven't caught up with what's going on here? Is your brain stuck in Narnia? You just hit a human being because you're too fucking busy talking to your stream. You're not paying attention to the road. What's actually surprising here is this is one of the few times in all the clips I've seen where she actually is looking forward as opposed to like looking elsewhere and looking at her phone, and yet somehow she still doesn't see that there's people in front of her and she hits one and then I guess still can't make heads or tails of what just happened. It's craziness. You are distracted and driving. It's a recipe for disaster. Luckily she didn't kill this person, I don't think. Now she has been arrested in the past, but this I don't think she's faced anything from yet because she still is streaming, like even after this incident, and she has changed nothing about her stream.
I plan on it. Can I park? Alright guys, here's your content for the day.
Ah yes, the content of hitting a pedestrian. Top shelf shit. Thanks for delivering that. She's a menace. She is a danger to everyone around her. She should not be allowed to drive. Period. Full stop. From everything I've seen, she is not safe to be on the road. And she is certainly not safe to be doing fucking grocery deliveries.
No, get off of it, dude.
The worm that came out of the dog's ass has nothing on the worms that infest this lady's brain. A normal person would have seen what happened here, and it's not like she didn't know what happened. She literally cleaned off a fucking worm from the groceries, and they would have canceled the order. Because there's a level of decency with people where they wouldn't want to just fucking poison a stranger here, I don't think. At least, I'd like to believe that. But she's built a little different. She's constructed in an unorthodox manner. After wiping the worm from the groceries, she believed that everything was a-okay and primed for delivery. No mention at all to the customer about all the piss and shit on the groceries. Like, at the very least, you could say, like, hey, so my dog's in the car, and he kind of had, like, a field day with his bowels on your food. Also his bladder. Just want to give you a fair warning in case you don't want to consume dog piss and shit. Just thought you should be aware of it. But no, she's like, hey, here's your groceries. Hey, have a good day. Bye-bye. Make sure to leave 5 stars. Appreciated. And then goes right back into her car to continue the stream. That is so foul and filthy, and it's criminal. Like, you can't contaminate people's food and not, like, at least warn them about the potential outbreak. Like, we could be dealing with, like, the goddamn T-virus that spawns from this when the lady eats the piss and shit-covered groceries. Like, it's so gross. It's so disgusting. Even the dog looks out the window and is probably just revolted, like, oh, jeez. Yoo-hoo, pardon. Oh, goodness, she's not going to deliver those groceries. I just shat on them. That would be so foul. Oh, my God, she's doing it. No, oh, please, Jinkies. Jiminy Christmas, my God. My owner's a fucking Neanderthal. She's a goddamn idiot. Like, even the dog is looking out the window concerned. And to be honest, I'm concerned for the dog. The dog doesn't seem to be in great health if it's pooping worms in the car. Like, I'm worried for that dog now.
Abby always wins at $2. Can we talk about how Abby dropped the deuce on their groceries? She peed on chips. Is she okay? I think she needs to go out. Poop, 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 poop. Dog, 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 dog.
The chatters are also concerned about the dog after seeing that, and yet there's no mention at all about the customer who is going to unknowingly consume the dump doomsday that was just produced on top of their food. But luckily this streamer does have an answer to go ahead and calm everyone's fears about the food being ruined. I mean, it's just piss and shit. That doesn't ruin food, which she helps us understand.
So Abigail went out like 3 times today and she hasn't pooped, she's peed. Once at the vet, once before that, and then the nighttime, like 2 in bag. It was not on anything else I checked. I removed it. All is well. That's what bags are for, right? To protect.
Hey pal, you just blow into stupid town? You can't really wipe piss away unless you have sponge hands, which I don't think you do. And also dog shit and worms on top of the grocery bags that the food is in. Like, there's no telling what made it through, especially since it sat there for a little bit before you came in there and apparently scraped it off. That's not exactly the optimal sanitization protocol. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit you with the cold water. You didn't get all of it. I promise you that much. But she clearly doesn't view it as a big deal, probably because she's smoking dog piss every day and then going live on YouTube here, which is just a danger to everyone around her. My heart breaks for anyone that gets a delivery done by this lady. That shit is probably rancid. Like, I bet everyone who... Like, you could probably, as an epidemiologist, track foodborne illness outbreaks relative to how many deliveries she's made in the area. And you'd find a pretty crazy correlation, would be my guess. Now, she has been arrested before in the past. I did a bit of a dive on her history. She is a very interesting specimen, to say the very least. But as of right now, I don't believe she's facing any legal repercussions from the delivering contaminated food to a customer or the hitting of a pedestrian. I don't see any updates on that, but those are still relatively new. So, I guess we'll see, but man, what an absolute trash bag of a person. This is some awful garbage here. So yeah, I had to talk about this a little bit. I was stunned when I saw these clips. That's it. See ya. Everyone knows that public nuisance streamers that go around harassing strangers, causing a commotion, and just making everyone's lives around them more miserable suck. Like, that's not a hot take. Everyone knows that. They're just this miasma of cringe that cause everyone a massive headache. But as I and many others have pointed out for years now, they do inspire an entire generation of young viewers to be losers like them. Because they do find an audience, they do find success, they make money from it. So it becomes a career path and something that young kids want to do to try and emulate that behavior and be like them. It's fucking tragic, and now we're starting to see the results of all of this.
What the fuck? Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phones.
Hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that.
This young whippersnapper can't be older than 11 years old, and he's already becoming a scourge. He's trying to do what all of the other public nuisance streamers do by just being a societal hemorrhoid. He still has his baby teeth. He hasn't even gotten his adult teeth yet, and he's already doing this shit. He just graduated from suckling milk out of his mother's bosom, and now he's trying to suckle milk out of Jack Doherty's titties here. He's just trying to get that clout through being a piece of shit. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Charles, are you really going to be insulting an 11-year-old here? And the answer is a resounding absolutely. This needs to be squashed. You gotta put the kibosh on this immediately to learn that this is not acceptable at all. So absolutely, I will be insulting this kid and the entire goof troop that travels with him for these streams. Now, he has thankfully been banned for this, which is one of the very few times I've ever seen Kick ban someone. I imagine it's not a permaban, but it 100% should be. I guess we'll have to wait and see if it is. Yeah, though, this shit absolutely super sucks. So I'm doing a public service here by insulting them. Hopefully it discourages more people like this, and hopefully this kid grows and learns that it's awful. It's not even good content. People are watching you because you are a clown, and they're sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for you to get your ass beat. That is your entire audience. You are a fucking spittoon that they are spitting in. Why would you want that to be your whole brand? His whole stream is basically either arguing or fighting people, and this is him just taking food from a stranger's table. That lady then goes up to confront him, and I'll show you that clip in a moment, but in the same stream, he also gets in an actual fistfight with some other kids. His whole stream is just creating problems and instigating, hoping that someone will fight back, and he just yells and screams about it, or in this case, throws some wet noodle punches at them. So him and his goof troop fight this other group, and they know that they're not going to get their ass beat because they're too young. So the group that's taking these punches doesn't actually fire back. They push him away at one point, but they don't actually swing on him because they know they would be the ones that get in trouble because this is a toddler. So they're using their age as a shield because they know there's going to be no real repercussions.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that to people. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Stop filming me. You're a nobody. It's a live stream. You can't stop it. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Give me the phone. Now you're not touching my fucking phone. Touch my phone, I'm gonna actually do something. Are you gonna beat me up? Back the fuck up. Back the fuck. I will. How old are you? 5?
Kid's making threats to this woman, then he also has his friend, behind her just in case. It seems like he was contemplating sucker punching her. That's what it seemed like the synapses in his brain were about to fire and tell him to do there. This is his whole stream with him and his friends just wandering around, making problems with complete strangers for no reason. And I'm also using the term friends very loosey-goosey here because I have a hunch that they're not actually his friends. They probably can't stand to be around this annoying shit stain. They're just here because he has some viewers and they're trying to elevate themselves. That's typically how these stories go. I think it's also worth mentioning that he has clearly been heavily inspired by Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty is another public nuisance streamer who does this exact same style of content where he just travels around, makes problems, causes a ruckus, and he has a bodyguard with him so that when anyone tries to confront Jack, the bodyguard steps in and either attacks that person or scares them away and sizes them up, gets them out of there to protect Jack Doherty from the consequences of his actions while Jack peeks around the bodyguard still lobbing insults at him like a real tough guy. Also, Jack Doherty is probably about the same size as this 11-year-old. So, the reason I say that he's clearly inspired by him is because this kid also travels around with a bodyguard. That's who that dweeb with the TikTok broccoli hair was that's positioned behind the woman here. That's supposed to be this kid's muscle. Or backup, perhaps. Maybe sidekick. I believe it's supposed to be his bodyguard, though, like Jack Doherty has. But the clear difference between Jack Doherty's bodyguard and this kid's is Jack's is a full-grown adult man who is like a professional bodyguard. This kid's is another child who's still afraid of the dentist and probably still wearing Pampers and the head of the anime club. But he is still trying very hard to be like Jack Doherty. And the question needs to be asked, where are their parents? Where in the fucking world are these kids' parental figures?
Do you? Alright, hold up. Do you? Don't do that again. Hold up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Let's go.
I couldn't imagine anything more painful as a parent than seeing your son like this, or any of the kids in this group here. It'd be less shameful if they were just addicted to heroin. Now, I know a lot of people default to blaming the parents here because that's a really easy thing to point the finger at, especially with so many parents just sitting their kids in front of an iPad and letting them doom scroll the internet and letting the internet raise their kids. But in a case like this, I don't necessarily know if that's 100% how this happened. I think even if you're someone who's very active in their kids' lives, they can just stumble across something like a kick streamer like Jack Doherty and see him flexing his wealth and be, you know, blown away by that, getting stars in their eyes and be like, I want to be like that. And no matter what the parent does, they can't really snap them out of it. That's just something the kid's going to have to learn through failure and learning that they're going to end up alone and a loser by trying to be like Jack Doherty. But I think there is a clear problem here that the parents aren't here. Like, they're just letting their 11-year-olds wander around IRL streaming. Under no circumstances should a child of this age be fucking IRL streaming on Kick. Kick is a platform that actually has child predators on it. There was a whole expose video about a big streamer who was legitimately a fucking predator. And their kids are now streaming IRL on that platform right now. And even on any platform, I don't think any kids should be doing any kind of streams like this. So I really am curious why the parents aren't more present in their life to allow them to stream for hours like this. That's just downright irresponsible, 100%. But I don't necessarily blame them for the kid trying to be a Jack Doherty clone, a bootleg Jack Doherty. That's something that even if the parents were monitoring their internet usage, he may have just stumbled across through TikTok or Twitter or something and then just got hooked on it. And that's a hard thing to stop as a parent. I do understand that part, but they definitely need to know that this is not acceptable behavior or normal behavior for kids to be doing. Fucking streaming, being an asshole. Come on. The parents definitely got to step up here and do something, I would say. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the last time we see a kid start to do streams like this. I really do think that streamers like Jack Doherty, who I keep name dropping, but it's just so clear his influence on this kid's life, really do create further degenerates. They just continue this cycle of degeneracy by making more people like this. And it sucks. That shit is terrible. So hopefully I'm wrong and we won't see more cases like this. But man, it's still awful. Even with just one case, that one kid was inspired enough to start trying to do the same thing. It's sad to see. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. I'm often asked if I've ever been in a fight, like a real physical confrontation. And the answer is no. But if I ever was, it'd be over real quick with these lightning fast jabs, and then maybe I get him with one of these, look up here, bang, high kick, lights out. If you slow down the video to 0.5 times speed, you'll see that I threw out over 30 right-hand, left-hand jab combinations and 4 different kicks. But the point is, I've never had to employ these elite maneuvers that I've mastered here from the numerous dojos I've studied in, which is a blessing for any, you know, bad guys out there. Though, I guess it's worth mentioning, I have once or twice helped break up a fight, and I'm being very generous with that word, helped. I was just kind of there as like an active spectator, just kind of loosely participating, like a referee who accidentally gets involved in the play during a football game. Like once or twice, a friend of mine got into a drunken skirmish at a house party, and I was among the people trying to like pull each other away from themselves. So nothing major. I've never actually been in a real exchange of knuckle sandwich sliders or anything pugilistic. I just can't actually imagine being angry enough at someone to want to get into a fight with them. It just doesn't feel worth it. I've never been at a point where someone grinds my ass so much where I'm like, time to punch him in the nose. I'm ready to cave this douchebag's skull in. It's just, I've never been that upset at someone. And today I want to share with you a video that I still think about 2 months after seeing it, where two people, were so mad at each other that nothing would stop them from fighting, not even poop. One of them shits themselves mid-fight, ass fully out, poop flying all over the place, and they continue to like tussle and rumble and tumble on the ground, continuing the fight. That's a level of anger and frustration that is incomprehensible to me.
Oh! Oh! Stand up, stand up, stand up! Your ass out, stop! Your ass out, big man!
I'm having an extraordinarily difficult time censoring the cheeks. They are like impossible to track. They're just all over the place here. It's like an NVIDIA physics demonstration with these jiggling butt cheeks here. I'm doing my best, but I don't know the context around why they're fighting. I don't know what caused this. All I can tell you is it's not worth it. So immediately the big gentleman takes down the smaller guy, though he's not a small guy at all. He's also a big boy. But when they both hit the ground, the big man's pants immediately just say, I'm out of here. They said, I've had enough. So they slide down, and his whole ass is out. Even seeing some glimpses of the chocolate starfish itself making a brief cameo appearance. Actual asshole. And he's not giving up. The other guy is continuing to fight him, even though his ass is now fully exposed.
Hey, big man, your ass out. Hold on.
Hey, y'all start over.
Break that shit up, bro. Break that shit up.
I said y'all start over, man. Hey, both y'all start the fuck over.
So all the spectators here, including the cameraman, have taken notice of the exposed anus. And all of them are saying, time out, time out. Let's reset here, pull your pants up. Let's go again for round 2. They're ringing the bell. We got a 10-yard penalty on the play, unnecessary butt cheeks, take it from the top, second down. It's like they're calling a technical foul here in a basketball game. It's actually, like, I appreciate that they're trying to bring rules and structure to this street fight here. Like, okay, listen, you want to pummel each other, that's fine, but you do it with your pants held up high and your dignity intact. Damn it.
I'm telling you, Gibson, stop! Gibson, I just said start over.
Hey, y'all
start
stop.
over.
He shitted on himself.
He shitted on himself.
He shitted, man. Y'all
He
stop,
shitted
bro.
on himself. Gibson, get up.
Who
He shitted
shitted?
on himself.
Yeah, leave him alone. He shitted, bro. He stank.
I didn't even know where I'd begin with trying to censor this portion of the fight. We've reached the climax. There's just poop everywhere. Like, this has become UFC, but if the F stood for feces. Ultimate feces combat. He didn't just shit on himself, his fucking colon exploded. Like, there's poop on his shirt, poop leaking out of his butt, like, it's all over the place, and yet it doesn't stop right there. Even though everyone besides the guy he's fighting is saying, like, look, he fucking pooped, stop, the fight is over, it's enough, it's done. You won, you beat the shit out of him, it's over. And yet for some reason, he's not done. He says, what about second breakfast? And continues to try and fight him, even though he is now getting shit on him because he continues it. Like, it's a level of anger that I will never be able to process. I could watch my high school bully steal my car right in front of me, burn it to the ground, get out, laugh in my face, and then spit on me, and I still wouldn't fight him covered in shit. How better to explain? Like, maybe we'd get into a bit of a little sock 'em boppers action here, but the second somebody starts shitting, I'm done. Where once there was anger, there is now only shame. Like, it's so yucky. You might actually remember this. This is a point I made many years ago, and I still stand by it. If you're ever in a fight that you want to get out of, just get naked. I feel like no one wants to fight a naked person, and I feel like that goes tenfold for a pooper. Like, no one wants to fight someone that has now become a biohazard to their own health because they're leaking shit everywhere. Like, that's probably a really good defense mechanism that would work 9 out of 10 times, but this is the one time it doesn't. He found a guy who was just angry enough to disregard poop, which is rare, I feel like.
Oh! Damn, he shitted, boy. It's coming out your butt. Get up. How the fuck you shit in the middle of a fight? Get up. Hey, man, get up or you be stank, man.
Again, I'm sorry, I don't know how to properly censor this so you can still, like, make out what's happening here. There's just shit and ass all over the screen, like, I don't know what else to do besides just, like, blank out most of it. You can hear the audio, though. Everyone is stunned by the volume of poop that has been released in the middle of this fight. The one thing nobody was expecting, and they are just trying to warn him, stop, you're going to be covered in this, it's not worth it, the fight's over, you won, it's over. I really do like the guy doing some of the commentary, the casting, he's like, it's coming out of his butt. That had me laughing so fucking hard when I first watched this. Like, it's such a crazy fight, and there's just no way there is anything that is worth being this angry over, to not only have this sloppy fucking street fight about it, but then continue it even in the midst of fecal matter being spread all over the place. I know, like, you couldn't see like half of the video because of having to censor it, but even just the audio, I think, is enough to get across what's likely happening here, and you can paint your own picture in your head about what was going on. It's just something I keep thinking about from time to time. Like, whenever something bothers me or whatever, I'll be like, well, at least I'll never be this angry where I would fight somebody in poop. So, I don't know. I don't think I can be this angry. But, I mean, who really knows? But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya. There's a Kick streamer whose name I've treated like Voldemort over the last year or so. I've never bothered talking about her because that's the only thing she cares about is her name leaving people's lips, no matter how negative it is. She exists for one sole purpose, to make everyone around her angry at her. It's in her delusional mind, the brain parasites tell her that that's a good thing. So I've just never bothered insulting her or making fun of her because that's like having sex with a cuck's wife. It's exactly what they want. But today she did something particularly heinous.
Right? No. No. Alright. You know why I wasn't going to? Because my feet were getting
You should
hot.
just jump in right now.
But I'm gonna jump in with my shoes on.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Ready? Oh! Wait, what the fuck?
I love how she's somehow surprised that the lady jumped in after she spent the better part of 15 minutes trying to convince her to jump in, and even tried to bribe her with $20 to do so, and now all of a sudden she's fucking soy-facing, shocked that the lady actually did it. So, I went back and I watched most of the stream, which was... I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Now, she's gone viral in the past for other degenerate activity, such as wearing painted-on pants at a gym, or doing a kidnapping children prank and faking a ton of shit around all of her other work to try and cause as much controversy as possible to farm clout off of it. But this one is a little bit different. So, the lady she had jump in is someone who apparently cannot swim. She said that she can only float and can't swim. And I initially thought that this was just more staged, phony baloney, garbage. But from a couple of the articles I read, they're reporting that the fire department in the area really did pull a woman out of that lake on this day. So it does seem like it's real.
Yeah, do you want to have a play date?
You want to jump in with me?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do it with you.
I'd rather go skinny dipping with you if I'm being honest.
Yeah, let's do it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, come on.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll do
Chad,
it.
they're all saying you're sexy and shit.
Really?
Yeah, they're all saying W woman, she's thick as fuck. You should jump in the water to find it for me.
Well, why don't you jump in with me?
I'll give you $20.
$20?
Yeah, that's a W.
No, come
that's
on,
a good deal.
jump in with me.
$20.
Hot.
Yeah, so you go in.
No, you gotta go in.
You
with
go
me.
in. You try to find the
You
scanner.
said you're gonna jump in with me.
I'll jump in after you.
We're jumping together.
The Kick streamer is on a scavenger hunt trying to locate the final Dragon Ball so she can finally make a wish to be something other than the failure that she is, and she encounters this woman who's on the dock. And she tries to convince that woman to jump in the water to look for the tracker that she's trying to hunt. So she's putting on a fucking Shark Tank pitch here, saying that she'll give the lady $20 to jump in, and that, oh, she'll follow once she jumps in, this and that, and then basically is just trying to farm her for content so that way the stream can laugh at this lady jumping in the water when the streamer never had any plans of doing so. And their interaction lasts like 10-ish minutes before the lady jumps in the water, and it seems as though she's quite vulnerable. So it's extremely fucking sad to see her being exploited by this Kick degenerate here and put into a position that's life-threatening because allegedly she can't swim, which is why the fire department eventually got called, which you do see on stream a bit later.
Did you see her ass? What? Oh,
You said it was okay.
You said you wanted to swim.
You told me to jump in.
I didn't tell you to jump in.
Yes, you did.
Just
You said you were gonna
thank you guys. We're gonna have you guys get off the stop.
Wait, who is that? What the fuck is going on? We should... I don't even...
I can't swim. I can only float.
Oh, she might literally die.
No, stop. Seriously, don't stop. Please, you're actually freaking me out. Oh, please.
You can really see the concern wash over each of their smiling faces as they're confronted with the very real possibility that that woman might drown and die because of the streamer's actions. I really wish this streamer had stuck with her OnlyFans as opposed to trying to pivot her career into just being an absolute insufferable piece of shit. I know her OnlyFans was flopping harder than Morbius, but by God, I mean, it might save lives if she had just stuck with it. The butterfly effect you can never fully comprehend until it's too late. So anyway, the woman that she has prodded into jumping in the water is now saying that she can't swim, and they're laughing about it because she might die, and to them that's hilarious. They can't stop giggling like someone's over there tickling their armpits. It's craziness. Like, the dude comes over and he's like, she might die. Fucking the camera goober over here is so excited. Like, he's like zooming in, trying to get like the last moments of like the air that she'll get from the surface before she goes under, praying that maybe this is the moment that he's able to bond close enough to the streamer where she might give him a peck on the cheek and thank him for his service. Like, she is surrounded by these henchmen that orbit her, just swarm her like mosquitoes on a pile of dog shit. And this is something that was prevalent throughout the entire stream. They're literally just there to try and have sex with her, is what it seems like. No one enjoys being around her. They don't like her company, from what I can tell.
Yeah, we have like phones and stuff, so that would friggin' suck.
Would you be able to hold this for 1 minute? No. Is it because you're afraid of getting called a simp?
Yeah, I don't like it.
They're saying you're alpha male. You're not a simp.
Not.
Yes, they are. They're saying
Absolutely
alpha. Everybody's saying alpha male.
Okay.
Sorry to say, brother, but I've got to diagnose you with a very severe case of simp. You might not like it, but it's a tough pill to swallow. That is literally what you are. Textbook definition. All of the insects that are around her fall into that category. When I went through and watched the stream, all of them seemed like perpetually annoyed by her, but were trying their best to hide it. And they're used as punching bags by her and her community to laugh at them and insult them. Like, how could, like, it's so pathetic. It's not just her that's pathetic. It's the people that surround her, too.
No, she's floating. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. She says she's drowning.
Oh, this is bad.
Dude, Natalie. Sorry, I didn't know. We leave.
Oh, this is bad.
Invaluable assistance provided by her and her team of dweebs. They just read chat messages and laughed at it. Which obviously is helping her get to safety. She's out there drowning, but luckily all of the chat messages that the streamer and her team were reading were helping lift her to the surface and carry her to shore. They just fucking left. They recognized what was going on. They recognized the very real possibility that this woman might die, and they just said, alright, I'm outski. Time to bounce. We're gonna scram now. Good luck. And they just leave her there. That's fucking insanity. And they laugh about it because people like her don't treat the other human beings around them as if they're real people. To her, everyone else is just an NPC, a prop that she can use for content and nothing else. That's the extent of their presence in her world. And once they've outlived their usefulness, she doesn't care about them, which is why she clearly doesn't give a fuck that that woman might drown out there, because she doesn't even view them as a person. That was just a piece of content for her, so she has no qualms about just leaving.
She said she's drowning. She said she's drowning.
I think you literally just murdered a lady.
No, I didn't. I swear.
I think you
No, I didn't. Let's go. Dude, she's drowning in the lake.
God, there's a fire truck. Nah, this is bad.
Like I said, I was initially skeptical when I saw this clip blowing up on Twitter because she has a history of faking shit. So I thought this might be another scripted thing just to get some, like, rage clicks to her stream, which I always think is a dumb fucking business decision. But when I went back and watched all of this happen as it unfolded on the stream, this does seem very real, because that fire truck does show up at, like, a very quick time from the second that she gets in the water and other people are, you know, catching on to what just happened, to them telling the streamer and her friends to leave. The fire truck pulls up only a matter of minutes later, so I'm guessing they must have called 911. They sent out the emergency response team to save this lady who can't swim. So it all does seem real. This doesn't seem like it's all just a bunch of fucking smoke and mirrors here as some kind of, you know, ingenious supervillain play from this kick streamer to try and get a couple extra viewers. She is just a piece of shit. She actually would have killed that woman if there weren't others around to call 911. That's unfathomable to me. Not only did she not do anything to help, but the dudes that are with her did nothing to help. All they did was laugh at the situation where someone's life was actually in danger. That's so fucked up.
That is, I did not know she was mentally ill. I thought she was just trying to have fun. I thought she was drunk or something. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What? Wait, why is she just here though? If she's like mentally ill, does she just like roam around the like area? Of course, this happens like what, 30 minutes of my stream. Like, I spent time convincing someone to jump. See, now she's just floating in the water. I think she's on drugs.
I just had to toss this little turd nugget in here as a little bonus clip. This is after she convinces the woman to jump in the water and she leaves the dock. She tries to, like, play the victim here, where she's like, "Ugh, of course this happens 30 minutes into my stream. This selfish, mentally ill woman comes up to me and, well, I have to try and exploit her for content, so I convince her to jump in the water, and it turns out she's mentally ill. What's she doing here? You know, getting me in potential trouble 30 minutes into my stream. Oh my goodness gracious." Playing the victim is her bread and butter, by the way. That's her signature anime finishing move. She always defaults to playing the victim in every situation that she causes. If I had to give her like one compliment, I'd say that she's talented at being a professional victim. She always does shit like this. So even in this situation, where she even knows she is 100% in the wrong, she goes on Twitter after this all blew up and said, "The lady wanted to swim. They told me to leave and stop filming. That's why we left. And she got the help she needed and is fine. Stop dragging me. Allah." What she did is indefensible, and she knows that. I watched the stream. She mentioned it and wrestled with it in her fucking empty little noodle multiple times about how she might have killed that lady. And she just doesn't care that much about that. All she cares about is whether or not it's going to lead to a viral clip and maybe a couple of extra viewers. That's it. And then she goes on Twitter and is like, "Oh, actually, everything was totally fine. We couldn't help because they told us to leave." They told you to leave because you weren't helping. You caused the problem and then did nothing to actively try and help in any way. So obviously they would want you out of there. You could have still done something to help. You could have called 911. Them telling you to leave doesn't just fucking, you know, launch an EMP that disables all your electronics where you can't dial 911. You could have called for help if you didn't want to actually get in the water and try and help her yourself. Like, it's so stupid. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible excuse. Like, it's not something you can ever possibly make an excuse for, but she still tries to get a couple, like, wah wah French cries in here, trying to drum up some sympathy for herself, even though she is just a piece of shit. Plain and simple. All she cares about is making people mad, so that way maybe people find her fucking awful streams. That's it. So I bet she is smiling right now. And in fact, I know she is, because I was watching her stream as I was making this video. She's live again. She doesn't care. This is a good thing for her. I think she's seeing more viewers than she was previously, so I bet she thinks this whole thing was absolutely fucking worth it, because she's not going to face any repercussions for this. It doesn't seem like anything's going to come from it, like on a legal side or criminal side or anything like that. So to her, this was just a smart play. Almost killing a woman on Kick for some extra viewers. So yeah, this lady super sucks. I think she is fucking terrible. That's really about it. So yeah. Have you ever been bullied? I'm assuming all of you said yes to that, because pretty much everyone in the world at some point in their lives has been made fun of for something. But if you're someone who said no, you're most likely a liar. Or the coolest person on the planet, you're very fortunate. God bless you, I suppose. But it's time you start getting bullied, so I'll go ahead and be your first experience with it. Fuck you, stupid face. Now we're all on an even playing field. So I'm sure, like I said, all of us have experienced, in one way or another, being made fun of by our peers. But I think what very few of us have experienced is being bullied by the person who gave us life.
I am so pissy today. Just downright motherfuckers today.
This lady who kicks off this rant with a Chewbacca screech is an OnlyFans model who has a child. And she's about to go on this big spiel about how her child being sick at school has cock-blocked her. And she just starts insulting her own flesh and blood. Admittedly, I'm also a bit confused on what she even means when she says she's downright motherfuckers today. Am I out of touch, or is she the problem? I don't get what that means. It seems like she's just desperately trying to be, like, quirky.
I had to come up here. I had to come up here at fucking 11 o'clock in the afternoon. That's prime time. That's prime time. If you know what I mean.
She goes non-verbal there for a moment and starts spamming Fortnite emotes. But don't worry, I'm picking up what she's putting down here. So she's complaining that she's now had to go all the way out here at 11 o'clock in the afternoon which immediately is news to me. I didn't know 11 o'clock made it to the afternoon. Feels like it probably shouldn't meet that criteria, but who am I to question such an intellectual? But she's upset because apparently 11 o'clock is prime time coitus. Which again, very enlightening information for me. My third eye is being forced open here to the truth. 11 o'clock feels like it'd be one of the most inconvenient times to schedule your fucking bedroom ham sandwich appointments. It feels like that's right in like the middle of the workday for a lot of normal people. It's also just generally early for such debauchery. But who am I to be questioning this? She's upset because it's now intruded upon her having sex. And now she's inconvenienced and she's irate.
But listen, so that's partly why I'm cranky, but I'm cranky because my child is 10. I had to come up to the school and I had to pick him up. Why? Why did I have to fucking pick this kid up? I had to pick this kid up because he's a man, okay? He's a little man and he's got a weak-ass stomach like fucking most men do.
She gets so heated that her eyes start going cross during this. He's not a little man. He's a little kid. He's 10 years old. He's a boy. And he was puking. It makes sense that the school would call the mother to come pick up the kid because he puked a few times. Can you imagine being the kid and seeing your mom just flaming you online in a viral rant? Like, that's gotta be downright diabolical to experience. Especially if, like, his classmates see it. That'll just be infinite ammunition to use against him anytime they want to make him feel bad. Just bring up that his mom insults him publicly online. It also feels so weird hearing his actual mother refer to him as this kid. That's like something you used to say on Xbox Live during some Call of Duty shit talking. Oh, this kid's just fucking camping, noob-tube one-man army, coward. Like, I don't know why she, like, harbors such disdain for him here over something he can't control. Puking.
So somebody busted ass in the library. He threw up not one time, not two times, but 3 times in the library. Fucking literally the nurse calls and she's like, you're gonna have to come pick up your son because he just vomited 3 times in the library, like Exorcist style, all over the place. Why? He's not even sick. Some kid farted next to him and he said that it made his stomach feel bad.
She tries to channel her inner Jim Carrey here for the comedy of the video. And I'm not entirely sure if this is real or not, this story she's telling, or if she's just trying to put on some kind of performance. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you try and dilute cringe, it's still cringe. The result will be the same here. She does have a child, and you are using him as the punchline of your joke, assuming this is all just a made-up story. And if anyone in his schools, from his class, sees this, they will undoubtedly make fun of him for it, because you are making fun of him. I remember when I was growing up, I used to get made fun of for being short, or actually there was a period in 4th grade where there was one guy in particular who used to make fun of me for having really red lips, so he called me Lipstick Boy. He was the only one that made fun of me in that manner, but for some reason that really struck a chord and it made me feel terrible. I couldn't imagine then going home and like hopping on TikTok and seeing my mom be like, my son just fucking puked 3 times because someone let out a stinky fart. What a weak boy. What a weak little man. And it makes me upset because I was about to fuck. I was about to have some naughty sex. And now I've got my stupid son who needs to get picked up from school. What a waste of time and what a waste of space that kid is. It's like, Jesus, that would hurt on such an unbelievably profound level. It would actually hurt more if this is a fake story. Like, Mom, why are you lying about me just to dunk on me for internet points? Like, Jesus, why are you treating me like a punching bag? And, of course, I'd go into school the next day, afraid, looking over my own shoulder, like, every step of the way down the hallway, wondering who's going to insult me if they happen to see my mom's viral video.
So I have to interrupt my day because some kid's got a rank asshole? That's a new kind of skip block. What? That's some bullshit. And I was like, does he have to pick it up? Like, can it be like an hour? Can we like work something out? And he was like, he needs to be picked up immediately because he threw up.
I really don't get why she tries to censor herself. So instead of saying cock block, she just puts up the C and then like, I don't know, stop sign. I actually don't really know what that was. A fucking force push at the camera. But like she does like mouth the words cock block, and I don't know why she doesn't just say it with her whole chest. She says bullshit, she says fuck. Like, it's not as though she's censoring bad words or anything. So what is the point in all of these huge, exaggerated Pixar animation gestures when talking about you having to leave getting piped to pick up your kid? I just don't, I don't really understand the point of that.
He threw up because he has a weak stomach. What about the kid who busted ass so fucking bad that he cleared out an entire goddamn library? That seems like a problem. He seems like he should get some medical attention. Not my kid.
Busted ass doesn't mean what you think it means, lady. It doesn't refer to farting, it refers to falling and hurting yourself. That's when you bust ass. What you're looking for, what you're trying to use, is ripping ass. Ripping ass is what you're trying to describe here. You're not even using the correct terminology. You're not using the preferred scientific nomenclature to refer to this incident.
Not my kid who's just got a weak stomach. Damn. It's not, I'm gonna Kool-Aid man through the side of a wall today. That's what I'm gonna do. Yep, I'm gonna do, because I'm pent up and I got a lot of aggression.
Here's what I think. I think at some level this story has true elements, but it's embellished for the sake of her being able to exaggerate because she thought it would make for a silly video that TikTok would gobble up. But I don't know why she thought it would go over well. At the core of this story she's telling, it's she's having sex, has to stop having sex because her child is puking at school, and she's insulting her child for that. It's a horrible look for you. This is not a story you'd ever share if it was true, because it would be embarrassing and make you look like an very uncaring mom. But if it's fake, it makes you look like an attention-seeking clout chaser that will use their kid as a stepping stool, like a fucking doormat, for some clout. There's just no winners with whatever your plan was with this video. Regardless of the authenticity of the story told here, at the very least, it is cringe. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. There's a clip that's been floating around generating a lot of buzz with a woman who is screaming at an officer about someone needing to get a ticket. And screaming is a word that just doesn't do it justice. This is a level beyond that I didn't even think was possible with human vocal folds. Like, this is what banshees are said to sound like. Her screaming, like her squealing, like that's what I imagine Black Bolt's sonic superpowers must have sounded like in the comics. It is otherworldly.
Give him a ticket!
Do you need an ambulance?
He doesn't have a third thing! Don't give him a ticket!
You need to go to the...
Why the fuck do I get a ticket?
Okay.
He can do whatever he wants!
Okay.
Give him a ticket!
And not a lot of people know the full context of it. It's more than just the clip. This actually goes on for like 25 minutes or more. It was probably closer to like an hour across multiple different locations of her keeping up that same anger the entire time. Like, I am shocked she didn't give herself like a fucking aneurysm during it. It is unreal. And a lot of people also don't know there's a sequel to this. So this happened, and then later on, she actually got arrested again for something else totally unrelated, and she still was this angry. She must just go around this mad all the time. Like that scene from Avengers, you know, where Bruce Banner's like, the secret is I'm always mad. Like, that must be how she lives her life. It's scary. But I'm not going to touch on the sequel yet. I want to give you the genesis of the angriest woman ever recorded here. It's like a cryptid sighting. So let's take it from the beginning and go through the entire first adventure.
Hello?
I'm on the phone with your police department right now. You can't pull me over with my car's off.
Yeah, I can, because I got you speeding before you were stopped, so...
When I get there, oh, no, I can call 911 if it's a f***ing emergency. Do you know what the f*** that means? Yeah, this is a f***ing emergency!
So she got pulled over for a speeding violation, and then she parked and called 911 immediately to complain about, like, no, now I'm just being harassed, this is all a bunch of baloney, this is horseradish. And she was calm for a little bit, and I'm using that word real loosey-goosey. It's just she wasn't absolutely at the top of her lungs hollering like she had just watched the home team win the Super Bowl. Like, she is more contained than you will ever see her on footage from this point forward. And then it starts to bubble over. The cup runneth over on anger, and it's about to spill out in a catastrophic explosion.
You're fucking shit-faced pig! Won't leave me the fuck alone!
How you doing? I'm the sergeant you requested.
Yeah.
How can I help you?
What the fuck is going on?
Okay. Well, from my understanding is you were traveling 57 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, and that was the reason for the stop.
So this lady's having a full-blown exorcism right now, and the cops are calling in reinforcements, so they brought in the cavalry here with the Zen Master. The cop that arrives here to have a conversation with her, to the best of his ability, is cartoonishly calm.
For a good minute. Can't fucking do that.
Sure you can.
No, the fuck he can't.
Okay.
Get his fucking video.
I don't need to pull his video right now. We'll write the citation, and then you can take it to court. Yep, that's what's gonna happen. Okay, I understand that you might not feel that's right.
No, you don't. You wanna fucking die? Get the fuck away from me! Get away from me!
This dude's like Ned Flanders up there at the window. He's like, well, no, sorry, Bob, we can't do that. We came here because of the speeding violation. You're acting a little out of line. It's a little silly. Like, I feel like I'm watching an episode of a kids program. Like, he is trying so hard to, like, de-escalate this through just, like, babying her. Which, I think he's making the right call doing that, because she is off her gourd, clearly. I don't know if this is some kind of, like, episode. I'm inclined to believe that it's not, considering that it happened again at a later date. I really think she is just a legitimately super angry person. So now this inconvenience of the speeding ticket has set her off.
Get the fuck away from me!
You screaming at me is not gonna solve anything right now.
Why are you down to the fucking naked thing? Get the fuck away from me!
Are you threatening me now?
Get away from me!
Do you want to be arrested?
Get away from me!
Are you okay? What's
Get away from me! Get away from my fucking thing!
You're just breaking your own stuff.
It is genuinely impressive how she is able to scream this loud, be this angry, without, like, passing out. Like, sometimes I'll celebrate something and, like, yell, like, during, like, an esports watch party. If something really hype happens, I'll, like, yell, and I get really lightheaded. Like, I get dizzy. I try to, like, hide it, be real brave about it, like a strong, you know, trooper about it, but, man, I get dizzy sometimes if I just yell. Meanwhile, this lady's like a fucking X-Men. She's like a mutant here with this ability. She's able to continue to screech and squeal at decibels that are definitely probably dangerous to eardrums. Like, this is probably the same note that opera singers hit that causes glass to just fucking explode, except amplified by 100 here. She's in there fucking breaking, like, not breaking, but like kicking at her own windows now while doing all of this. She's acting like she's turning into a werewolf. Also, just a side note, whatever officer is watching this unfold must be like 8 feet tall, because this body cam is towering over the other officer and this vehicle, making it look like a little toy car. I don't know how tall that officer is, but that is a big boy.
Away from my car!
Okay, as soon as I have the identification, we'll write your citation. We'll be out of here.
Why don't you go fucking fetch it, you fucking dog?
Take your citation for speed.
Yeah, are you fucking dog? Can you get the fuck out now? Get the fuck out, man!
After she launches her ID, they give her the speeding ticket. He slides it through the windshield. He's like, ma'am, is through the windshield okay? All right, I'm just going to drop it off here. All right, now have a pleasant rest of your evening. And then they peel out. And you'd think that's where it ends, right? No. She actually follows the officers back to the police headquarters, which is where the viral clip starts.
And decided to follow him all the way to the police station. During the 5-minute drive,
So I have to follow every fucking law, but that fucking faggot can leave the fucking scene without a turn signal? Give him a ticket!
Do you need an ambulance?
He doesn't have a turn signal! Give him a ticket!
Do you need to go to the...
Why the fuck do I get a ticket? He can do whatever he wants!
Okay.
She is sweating profusely, actually shaking. But you'll notice, no voice cracks. Not a single hint of a voice crack during all of this screaming. I don't understand how that's possible. Those are like golden pipes of an angel to be able to go through that much trauma for this extended period of time with no damage, no raspiness. Well, okay, I don't mean to get carried away now. I'm getting a little lost in the sauce. But no like cracking or anything like that, no wavering. It's unbelievable.
Can I help you with anything else?
Give him a ticket! Fucking come on!
It's not gonna happen. Anything else we can help you with tonight?
Yeah! Giving him a ticket!
Alright, it's not gonna happen.
What the f does he get to do whatever the fuck he wants for?
I just want to know, are you okay?
Give him a ticket! Fucking dumbass! Why the fuck doesn't he get a ticket?
She believes the officer didn't use a turn signal, which is why she's demanding he gets a ticket, and she is going feral about it. And the officer, multiple times, is just, like, it seems like is actually concerned that something is wrong here. I think she's in no condition to be on the road like this whatsoever. I don't think she can even see the people in front of her because it's behind an entire wall of red. She is steaming. And I've made this reference a lot recently, but I really like to call upon this. It's like that episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog when Eustace puts that gel on his head and his fucking head explodes.
Ma'am, I can help you talk to somebody.
He didn't use his turn signal!
Ma'am, can I please call you an ambulance? Do you have any thoughts of harming yourself? Who are you calling?
Shut the fuck up!
Okay. If you keep calling 911, you could. It's not.
The 911 dispatch is getting more calls than a Pizza Hut right now, and they're all from this woman who continues to call them, screaming at them, yelling at them about all of this. And it's honestly kind of sad to watch. Like, yeah, she is clearly extremely angry, but you can see, like, she starts, like, sniffling, and, like, it seems like she's on the verge of tears. She's so upset. Like, it does seem like there is a real cause for concern about, like, well, what's going on here? But she's refusing any of the help. So, again, I have no clue beyond what I've seen in her arrests now, but I really do not think, if she is like this as often as it seems she is, that she should be driving frequently, because it's a danger to the people around her.
So what the fuck are they being retarded for? Don't they need to do what the fuck I say now?
Jayla, you are in an emotional state. I can't talk with you.
All of you stupid, fat, fucking white privileged motherfuckers keep costing me money, and you do whatever the fuck you want! I wish I was a cop so I could shoot all of you the fuck up and get a pat on the back for it! You stupid!
Okay.
Multiple times she's threatened to kill the officers, like earlier saying about stabbing one in the neck. Now she's saying she wished she could just shoot them, about, you know, how they're costing her money. And then she takes her glasses and throws them. Maybe broke the glasses, cost yourself money on that, kicking the windows. Also racking up a bill on your own out of control anger here. It's rough. Like, I'm not going to show too much more of this because it goes on like this for a long time, unfortunately. Like, a very long time.
You don't know how to use your fucking turn signal when you're fucking leaving, huh?
When did you guys didn't
When you were leaving, you didn't use that, and you saw me following you.
I'm sorry you think that way, but I did.
Literally, you and your fucking butt buddy did it. Both of you fucking did it.
I'm cutting around a lot of the lore here, but they eventually decided, like, we need to do something here, but they didn't want to, like, wrestle with her in the car, so the main character officer, the protagonist here of this boss battle, he tried to say, if you want to talk to that officer you're so mad about, he's over there on the sidewalk, go talk to him, so that way she'd get out of their car, and then they could, like, I guess put her in cuffs and then call an ambulance. But she declined to get out of her car. Instead, she backed up and scooted in sideways so she could talk to him, yell at him through the window. So then they had to get more creative about how to get her out of the car because they didn't want to, like, hurt her, I think, or, like wrestle with her in the car. So then he said, do you want to file a complaint against this guy? And she's like, yeah. All right, well, the paperwork's inside. Honestly, a grandmaster chess maneuver on the board there with the scholar's mate. So they set that booby trap. She goes inside the police station, and then she is taken into custody. It's not pretty. It's rough to watch.
Jayla, would you like to file a complaint? Yeah! Then you can head to the lobby, and we have the paperwork for you. Yeah. Okay, hands behind you.
Yeah, watch out, it's broken!
Hands behind you.
They do get an ambulance there, and while putting her on the stretcher to get her in the ambulance, she hawked a fat loogie. She spit a mean one on one of the officers. So it was a bit of a struggle there, but they eventually get her in the ambulance. She was charged with, like, apparently she was charged with assault battery on an officer, as well as disorderly conduct and false reports to 911. Apparently some of those charges were dropped, but she ended up spending like 140-something days in jail for all of this. But yeah, that's the whole first adventure here with what I believe I can confidently say is the angriest person I've ever seen. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.